UK HADO National Leagues being held here at HADO Arena Coventry. We have 8 teams today playing out in 2 pools. These are our top 8 teams currently in the UK. Pool 1 consists of teams ranked 1, 3, 5 and 7. And Pool 2 consists of teams ranked 2, 4, 6 and 8. And we're going to be basically playing through those matches with these guys today in the league format. For anyone who's not aware of league, it is a 7-game format. And what it does is, shift across into here. So we have 7 games, each one with its own quick set of rules on it that show us how everything operates. So first game is all about is just standard play. Second game is about your accuracy, so you're limited on the scale of your shots. Third game is a 2v2 because the number of players on the pitch alters tactics. Game 3 is about your defensive play and counter-defensive play. Game 4 is a 1v1. Game 5 is a 1v1. Sorry. Game 6 is 3v3 again, but you're limited on the number of ability points you can spend, so you've got to see how you can do with limited resources. And Game 7 is back to standard. Every game you win earns you a match point. Take the majority of the games to win a bonus match point. And obviously, once all teams have played each other in a round robin, so 6 matches per pool, we get to see basically the winning teams on each one. So, Court 1 is getting prepped up. Court 1's going to be starting off first, and then we'll be bouncing backwards and forwards between the 2 courts. So hopefully we'll manage to get the majority of the gameplay out and ready for you. So Court 1, on red we have Synergy, and our current rank number 1. And on blue we have Team No, our current rank number 3. Going to be starting off then on Court 2, following on from that, will be T-Wolves on red, our current rank number 2. And the Boss on blue, our current rank number 4. Obviously, any questions as we go, guys, drop them in chat. And hopefully we'll be good to go very soon. So, obviously, this first game is the just standard freestyle game. Any stats, any play style, no limitations on how the teams operate. So very much like if you've watched any of the cup matches, standard sort of cup style game like that. What League does is not only does it make it longer games for the matchups for the 7-game format, it also across the course of the games really lets the teams show off their different skill sets, their abilities, and everything else. So just waiting for final team. Now, one of the big ones here is this, although it is 7 games, the players get 100-second recovery in between games. So it's a tight, high-pressure game. Okay, and Court 2 has started first. Which I wasn't expecting, but here we go. We're on Court 2. So, T-Wolves versus the Boss. Nice open play from both sides. Good evasion. Both these teams very, very mobile. T-Wolves favouring shields at the moment. And first point on the board for T-Wolves. Nice play from them. 1 point apiece. Boss equalising up. T-Wolves using those shields to their advantage. Layering the shields up on that left-hand side there. Still holding it at 1 point apiece as we come up on the halfway mark. They've gone for a double shield strategy with an assassin. So 2 rank 5 shielders who are there to obviously try and defend their teammates, but only use 1 shooter. So that 1 shooter has got the job of earning all the points for their team. Boss currently fighting back very strongly against this 2-point lead for the Boss at this stage. T-Wolves running out of shields now. They've got 3 of the heavy duty shields left, but only 20 seconds left to play. To be fair, they may as well just layer them up at this stage. Really no benefit to holding on to those shields whatsoever. They've still got 2 shields left, 10 seconds on the clock. That's a big mistake to still have 2 shields at this point. It's 3-1 to the Boss. They could have done better than this. They've got those shields up earlier. 4-1 to the Boss. This is a good strategy, but mistimed on those shields, unfortunately. I think if they managed to keep those shields up, that could have actually been quite a surprise result. Boss, of course, putting their own surprise result in at the Southern Championship a couple of weeks ago, where for the very first time IDK lost a tournament, and the Boss were the team that took that tournament from. This was the first sort of break in their winning streak for 4 years, 5 years, something like that. They've been dominating for, so to get that game against the Boss, very good. Right, shifting to Court 1. So Synergy versus No. Again, open format, standard stats. So Team No, very much an up-and-coming team at the moment, really pressuring on some of the more established teams. They're only really, this is their They're playing in some of the lower leagues last season. They've made a huge impact this season. Really, really pushing through very effectively. Great work so far. 3-1 currently to Synergy. No fighting back though. 3-2. Awesome work from 3-3. Great work from Team No here. Pulling it back to even at the halfway mark. 2-point lead now for Synergy. No, still on that fight back. Great work from them. Are they going to manage to take a game here? So Synergy currently on the number one spot in the UK. No, been putting a lot of work in to close that gap though. 20 seconds now. 2 points in it. Great evasion work from both teams here. Really, really high pressure game. Synergy still with that edge though. 3-point lead now. 10 seconds. No, with a lot of work to do in the final seconds. 4-point lead now for Synergy. That's going to put the game out of No's reach and take us through. So 3, 2, 1. And first game goes to Synergy. Right, shifting back to court 2. So this is the scale 1 game. So teams not allowed to spend any points on the scale stat. State there on the front edge there from T-Wolves. Early point going out to the boss. T-Wolves favouring a shield strategy again. That's not a great move in this game, in this round. Because the players can't spend points on scale, they're going to distribute them elsewhere, and they'll almost always boost up their charge rate, which means they can massively increase their rate of fire, and therefore chew their way through defensive shields very, very rapidly. Now, the scale 1 element means that rather than normally where you can get one-shot takedowns by hitting the centre of an opponent's target, here you have to take out each of the 4 elements of the target individually. So you've got to hit each player 4 times for a point. So it's lower scoring, but it also means that any kind of lead becomes so much harder to track down. 4-0 at this stage. The shield strategy from T-Wolves really not paying off for them at all here against the boss. 5-point lead for the boss. 20 seconds remaining. Heavy shield going up again on that. So last one of the shields for T-Wolves. Big miscalculation here for them. The increased fire rate from the boss due to having those smaller shot sizes was always going to make shields a dangerous strategy to go for here. And the boss have made them pay for that error in judgment. 8-1 win to the boss in round 2. So blue player 4 there on the boss, really dominating there. 7 KOs. Fantastic work from them. So we should be coming up on time now to shift back across to court 1. Just waiting for them to finish getting themselves logged and ready. Said the teams get 100-second recovery between games. Here we go. Court 1. So Synergy versus No, scale 1 match. Again, No have gone down the shields route. Again, that's a really bad tactical choice in the scale 1 game. Your opponents have basically, because they can't spend the points in scale, they've got to put them somewhere, and you always end up boosting charge rate. Just so you can put more firepower out there, because you've got smaller shots, you need more shots to be able to hit the target. So shields are just going to get chewed through constantly and consistently. No rushing on the shield over there on that far side. 2 points to 1 at the moment at the halfway mark. So they're 3-point lead now. This is really dangerous team No. Again, just as with T-Wolves, they went down the shields route. It was a bad tactical choice in this round. Your opponents are always going to up their charge rates, which means your shields just get punched through, and shields are just a limited resource. So 20 seconds remain now. 5-point lead for Synergy here. No getting really punished for that tactical error. And that is pretty much game over for Team No. Shifting across to court 2, where we just started off. This is the 2v2 freestyle. I'm shifting away from court 1 because the outcome was pretty guaranteed at that point. So it's a 7-3 finish for Synergy on court 1. Great early play here from both sides, though, in the 2v2 on court 2. Three to nothing at this stage for the boss. T-Wolves really need to get some points on the board here. T-Wolves at least to finally drop their fascination with shields. 4 to nothing now. So need a lot more evasion work, real fast work. Great shot there from Harley from T-Wolves there. I mean, it's still a 3-point lead to the boss there. Boss is still controlling this game, but it was just a very good individual shot. A second shot in from Harley. Great work from him. 2-6, so 4-point lead now for the boss. Huge amount of work here to do. So your opponents are your point scoring opportunities. So when there's only 2 people on the opposing team, there's only 2 points available. So a 4-point lead is big. You've got to take out both your opponents twice without conceding a point just to close that gap. 2-7. 5-point lead now going for the last few seconds. So it's a third round win here for the boss. 3 points to 7. But great work there from T-Wolves. Really, really good evasion from them as they played through that series. Again, boss showing why they were able to create that huge upset there a couple of weeks ago against IDK. Yeah, really, really nice play both sides there. So shifting back across to court 1. So 2v2. Sinji versus No. So No puts Sinji under a very significant amount of pressure in that first round. Tactical error in round 2, looking for shields, which cost them the game. Let's see what they can do here in round 3. First point on the board for Synergy. Second point in for Synergy. No, with a lot of work to do here. There's only 2 points available on the other side, so a 2-point lead is big. 3-point lead is very problematic. First point on the board for Synergy. For Team No, starting to fight back against Synergy. Coming up on the halfway mark now. 4-point lead for Synergy. That's a big problem for Team No. They've got a huge amount of work to do here. 5-point lead. Team No are in a lot of trouble here. Good score from Team No, but they've got to do a lot more. Another good score. Great work from Team No. 20 seconds to play. They've got still a lot to do here if they're going to close that gap, though. Good timing on that shield, but unfortunately, protected himself, but his teammate was caught out in the open there for No. 10 seconds remaining. It's going to be a nice controlling win from Sinji there against Team No. 7 points to 3. Oh. Identical score to the 2v2 on the other court, in fact. So good play all round there. Blue player 5 doing really well. Blue player 6, unfortunately, moving a lot, but not contributing points on the board there. But good work from No in that fight. Looks like we've just got a quick issue sorting out on court 2 before we shift back across to there. So for those who've joined us a little bit late, just to refresh your memories on this, we are playing in league, so it's 7 games for a match. Every match you win earns you a match point. As we work through these, so there's a maximum of 7 match points available. Plus, there is a bonus point for the team that wins the majority of the games. So up to 8 match points available if you manage to clean sweep. So 7 games to nothing against your opponents. Every one of those match points translates to 6 ranking points in the national league for that team. So every single game, even if you lost the first 6 games, the 7th game matters. Right, let's get ourselves back to court 2. Here we go. So this is our shields game. So looking at defensive and counter-defensive play. We know this is where T-Wolves wanted to play anyway from looking at their earlier games. They were very much looking to focus in on shields and shield play. Boss tend to now play very much of a move and shoot game, but historically they've had a phenomenal set of shield tactics that they've relied on. So very hard to see where the teams are going to go here. Both teams very comfortable in their shield usage. First point on the board for the boss. T-Wolves with a number of shields left in the bag here. They need to get those shields up. 3-0 coming up on the halfway mark. Boss doing a fantastic job hammering those shields down from T-Wolves. Really giving them no great opportunity to get back into the game. 3-0 at this stage. Court 1 is also restarted now, also on the shield game. Currently 1-0 to Team No. 1-1 to Team No on court 1 at this stage. 4-0, 5-0 now here on court 2. Okay, last 10 seconds. This is clearly going to be a win for the boss. I'm going to shift us back across to court 1, which is currently in a much more even state of play. 5-2. So Synergy currently with control. 3-point lead at the halfway mark. Court 2 has finished at 6-0 to the boss. Court 1 currently 6-2, 30 seconds remaining. 70, 5-point lead for Synergy here. No, with a huge amount of work to do to try and close that gap up. Both teams going for pretty much identical stat sets there. Great double shielded position there going up from Synergy on that front line. Five seconds remaining now. Clearly looking at Synergy win. 8 points to 3. Great play from both sides there. Reds 2 and 3 really controlling the play. Good shielding from Red 1 in their positioning and timing. Again though, some lovely play coming out from Team No. Just not managing to get enough points on the board, but the overall scoring really nicely done, and a very good. I mean, yeah, obviously they would prefer to win, but a good result from them in terms of the points they're getting on the board there and the way that gameplay was coming through. So that is currently Synergy now take a 4-game win, so they're going to take the bonus point on court 1. Shifts us back across to court 2. So court 2 currently the boss with 4 wins, so we know they've got the bonus point here. Let's see if T-Wolves can try and take at least a game off them. Try and get hold of some of those precious ranking points. So this is now the 1v1 freestyle that we're prepping up. So all stats are valid, any choices you like, but it is 1v1. So both teams going for very similar, very aggressive builds. T-Wolves prioritising speed over number of shots. Boss slightly reducing speed, but in order to get just a few more shots out. So you know, a bit more firepower from the red side, from the blue side, a bit more speed from red. First clip coming in onto T-Wolves. 1 marker gone. A lot more about the evasion play, shifted movement across the pitch. Red still to land a hit of any nature onto blue. Red down to a single life marker now, getting very dangerous to them. Really got to land something meaningful onto the blue player here. Obviously, how hard it is to hit your opponent when they can really focus on evading you, as the players are doing here. Great dodging there from Red. Yeah, even getting a single point on the board here can be really damaging. Court 1 has started off again now, again on their 1v1, with currently 1-0 to Synergy on that court. Coming in on 5 seconds here remaining. Oh! Point to the boss, and that is game to boss. That was close. So 1-0 here as well on court 1. 2-0 now. Red on a single marker though. Good use of that shield though, really slowing down the potential fight back from his blue opponent. Good move across the pitch as well. Great dodge under that shot. Nice head drops and evasions. Fantastic evasion there from the red player. Really good. 2 points to nothing there. Great work from Team No. Synergy just keeping themselves too mobile, too agile. So 2 games remaining on both courts here. So this is game 6 we're about to move into. So game 6, just give you guys a reminder on that one. Game 6 is what's called the status 20. So each player normally has 4 points to spend. Well, sorry, 6 points to spend on game stats. And those game stats control how fast the shot travels, They control how far big the shot is, how often you can fire, and how many shields you get. Okay, but for this game, you don't get to spend all 6 points each. So across the team, obviously 3 players, 6 points each, 18 points in total. But for when we're looking at this match, of those 18 points, you can only spend 8. The reason it's called HADO 20 is because each player gets 4 points, so 1 point in each category for free anyway. So the 12 free points plus the 8 they can spend gives a total of 20 points, leaving 10 points, because you normally have 30 across the team, unspent. So what we're really looking for here is that so what we're really looking for now is basically what they can do with that. How can they operate in this limited environment? What can they do with those points? How they're going to distribute them? So it's very, very tactical at this stage. So are they going to split them across different players? Are they going to try and evenly distribute them? Are they going to power up a single player and let the remainder players on the team really look at evasion and counterplay? So let's see what we've got here. So no, spread them across the team. Synergy have focused their points. So 2 different schools of thought. Let's see how it plays out for them. First one on board for Synergy. 1 point apiece. Nice work from Team No. So have they clearly identified the threat, which is red player 3, playing on the back line there. That's where the bulk of Synergy's points have gone. 2 and 1. Yeah, they're putting shots out, but they're mainly there to keep the attention of Team No. They really need to focus on red player 3. 2 point lead currently for Synergy. 20 seconds remaining. 3 point lead now for Synergy. 10 seconds. And court 2 are just starting off now. Again, we've got a nice mix of stats going on. 2 points in it. That was a great fight back from Team No, but Synergy take round 6 points to 4. Okay, nice work from the boss here. 2 points early on the board. T-Wolves got a lot of work to do here. They really need to get some points scored. Three-point lead here for the boss. 4 points. 5. T-Wolves got a huge amount of work to do in the last 20 seconds. Ten seconds remaining now. Boss completely in control of this game. 5 point lead. Means good scores there from T-Wolves, but Boss are just not letting them into this matchup at all. For T-Wolves matches in this pool, this opening match against the Boss is without doubt their toughest set of opponents in the pool. So the fact that they're not winning the games, but they're putting some great performances, and there's been some lovely gameplay from T-Wolves here against a team that is without doubt significantly stronger than them. So the gameplay we're seeing here has gone really nicely. So we're now moving into the 7th and final game of each of these opening matches. So just getting final prep there on court 1. So this is back to freestyle, so no limitation on stats and points. Here we go. Final game now, court 1. First point on the board to Synergy. Second point on the board for Synergy. Team No really need to focus themselves here. Keep their heads in the game. Remember, every single one of these games is worth 6 ranking points on the national table. So it doesn't matter if you lost the last 6. This game 7 still really matters. 3-2, great work from Team No. Can they keep this pressure up? 3-all at the half, coming up on the halfway mark. Can they flip that scoreline? 40 seconds to go. Can Team No get that next point? Getting the point, just holding it away again. No need to get back in this. They pulled it back again. Great work. They've got to flip that scoreline though. They need that next score. 5-4, Sinji just pushing ahead again. 6-4 now. 20 seconds remaining. T-Wolves and the Boss just starting off on court 2 now. 6-5. Can No do this? One more point. 7-6. Noah still holding Sinji within that catching. 7-7. 5 seconds. 3, 2. Sinji get that last minute point. 8-7 to Team Sinji. A fantastic finishing match there from Team No. Boss thoroughly in control at the moment on their final matchup here. Again, T-Wolves focusing on shields. Didn't work for them in the earlier rounds. Surprised they haven't shifted the tactics here. They're quite inexperienced. Although the players themselves are young, they've got a lot of match experience under their belt. So I would expect them to change their tactics for this second round, for this final matchup. Given how it just didn't work for them at all in the earlier rounds, but they seem to be sticking to their guns here, and unfortunately, it's not seeming to produce results here. So 5-point lead currently for the Boss. 15 seconds. 6-point lead, who's going to the final 10 seconds now. 3, 2, 1, and 8 points to 1 in the final game of the set there for the Boss. So that is a 7 and bonus point win. So 8-point win for the Boss on court 2, and the same for Synergy on court 1. Now our next sets of matches are Fighting Mongooses and Wolfpack on court 2, and IDK and Barnsley on court 1. However, I think the IDK Barnsley game is going to be delayed slightly, so the two courts are going to go out of sync for a little bit, which means we should be able to get the whole of Fighting Mongoose and Wolfpack match without any hassle at all. As unfortunately, it looks like the Barnsley team, who have had delays on the journey and are still on the way down here. Okay then, guys, so we are getting ready now for round 2. So on court 2 here we have Fighting Mongooses and Wolfpack. So these teams are currently ranked 6 and 8 in the UK. These teams have been very, very long term sort of playing rivals. Huge numbers of matches played between the two. Mongooses have historically been the stronger of the two teams. Wolfpack, though, managing to take a surprise win against them during the last set of national matches. So let's see whether they can do it again. Now, obviously, we've got there is a slight delay currently on court 1. The Northern Region team coming down from Barnsley are on their train, and their train's been delayed, which obviously is a situation outside of their control. Technically within the rules, that would mean that they would forfeit the games, but we're going to give their opponents, Team IDK, the option about whether they are willing to play the game later in sequence, or whether they're going to force a forfeit onto the Barnsley team for this first round. But that's going to come down to IDK's choice on this. So technically within the rules, if you're not there for when your game starts, then you're not there and you forfeit. But obviously the players there are going to be given the choice for what they want to do in the situation, as obviously the Barnsley team aren't responsible for their train being delayed. So we're going to let them make the call on that one. Now, so currently we've had 2 straight wins there, 7-0 for both teams there. So both for the Boss in Pool 2 and for Synergy in Pool 1. So the game we're prepping up for, going to pull back up on stream 2, is Court 2. And this is Fighting Mongooses on the red and Wolfpack on the blue. So as we said, both of these teams met each other multiple times before. They're both very experienced teams. For last couple of both local and regional tournaments recently, in fact, Wolfpack have been had a transfer player from Mongooses on their team, so they're very good relationship between the two for how they play. Here we go then, guys. So, game 1, on court 2, Mongooses versus Wolfpack. This is the freestyle. So standard 3v3, any stat choices. So heavy, got heavy charge going into there for both sides actually. I think they were both expecting there to be some shield work from the opposition. Great movement from both sides. 2 points early on the board there for Mongooses. Wolfpack fighting back straight away. They're pulling back to 2-2 all. Good frontline shielding there from Wolfpack. Couple of quick points on from Mongooses though. Wolfpack with a lot of work to do here. 4 points down now. 4 points is the dangerous point in any HADO game on 3v3s. Because you've got to take out the whole team, opposing team, plus a player to pull that back. Nice work there. 8-6. 2 points in it now. Wolfpack fighting back really well here. 20 seconds remaining. Still maintaining that. double kills both sides going in again. 9-7. 10 seconds. 10-8. Double kills again. 5 seconds. 11-8. Wolfpack just unable to close that gap. There's that first couple of the early points that went on the board for Mongooses, holding throughout the game there. 11-9 finish. Great opening game though. I think Mongooses, as I said, just managing to get that early momentum going with those first couple of points. Be interesting to see how it flows from there. So the next game in the sequence then is going to be our Scale 1. So this is staying 3-3, but Scale 1. Hopefully, we're not going to see the tactical errors from either team here on shield usage, because as we know, it really doesn't work in the 1v1s because your opponents almost always tend to put those points into charge rate. So teams now get themselves prepped and ready to go for game 2. Okay, here we go, guys. Game 2 on court 2. So this is our one. This is the scale 1 game. So all that accuracy. First point on the board there for Wolfpack. Remember here, you're having to hit your opponents 4 times each because you've got to chip away each life marker in turn. 2 points on for Wolfpack. Great play from them. Now, they have gone shields, but they're using them very differently to how we've seen with the other teams. They're using them to cut crossfire on the centre rather than actually hiding behind them. That means they don't pull quite as much fire onto them, so they last a bit longer. 2-point lead for Wolfpack. They're coming on the halfway mark. .30 seconds remaining here. 2-point lead still. Wolfpack doing an excellent job here of holding off against fighting mongooses. 3-4. Mongooses just needing 1 point to pull this back level. 20 seconds remaining. They've pulled it back. 4-4. 5-4. Great score there from Wolfpack. Mongooses again, though. 5-all. It's going to go down to the wire here. 6-5. 7-5. That's good. That should be enough now with how hard it is to score points in the Scale 1 game. 7-6. Great shot back from the Mongooses. 7-6. Game 2 goes to Wolfpack. So it looks like it's going to be a much tighter game than our either of our first round matchups. Really, really nice play there from both teams. I said normally we'd say shields not an effective tactic here because of the higher charge rates that you see from the on both sides in Scale 1 games. But Wolfpack using their shields actually very effectively there, and not in a standard format. So what you tend to see with shields is people put up shields and they hide behind them to shoot, which Wolfpack weren't doing. There were a couple points where they were behind them, but in general they were dropping shields on the centre pitch and then running away from it. And the reason to do that is it means that shield now, rather than something you're standing directly behind and it's getting hammered with shots, what it's doing is it's catching crossfire. So it's making it much harder for your opponents to cross shot into you. But because no one's actively stood behind it, it's not getting directly targeted in the same way. So that shield lasts for a much longer period of time and helps to protect your players on those front edges from being cross-shot over the pitch and being caught on their blind side. So using that shield very effectively there and getting and bringing home the win. So nice play there from Wolfpack. So moving back to court 2 now. So we are getting prepped up for the 2v2. Now on court 1, teams there have agreed that as the Northern Region champions Barnsley are not responsible in any way for the fact their train's been delayed, I'll get them down here, that they've agreed to shift the schedule round, and we have Team No about to face off against IDK on court 1. Teams A just get themselves prepped and ready. So here we go, 2v2, Mongooses versus Wolfpack, court 2. And they've gone for a shield and assassin combo there from Wolfpack. First point on the board though for Mongooses. Wolfpack, nice score there on the front line. 2-1. Fortunately those shields got a bit of an angle to them. And Mongooses just managed to clip those shots in behind. 2 points to 1 at this stage. Wolfpack needing to get a second score in just to pull this back level. Huge amount of fire coming in from Mongooses, and they've got that second hit, 3-1. A lot of focused fire going into a single player that, and they've got that angle on the shield again. Unfortunately, those Wolfpack shields just catching the angle just wrong. Mongooses were able to slide shots in behind them. 5-2, 6-3, double kill there on the front edge. And court 1 has just started off now into their opening game. On the 3v3 freestyle, currently 40-0 for IDK. 6-3 here. 10 seconds on the clock. 6-4 Wolfpack. Unfortunately, that's looking like too much now. 3 points lead in the final 5 seconds, and it's going to be a round 3 win going to Mongooses. 7 points to 4. Getting across now to court 1. Final seconds there. IDK really controlling this game against Team No. 12 points to 1. Now, we said it before, we'll say it again. You managed to land a point on IDK, on IDK, you're doing well anyway. Although, obviously, a controlling win there from IDK against Team No. Hats off to Team No for getting that point at all. Okay, so our team's just getting themselves prepped and ready. So we'll be moving on court 2. We're going to game 4 in the sequence, which is our shields game. So defense and counter defense play. Court 1 is now getting prepped up for scale 1. Nice quick turnaround as we get between the games here. That 100-second recovery time. If you're not logged in and ready to go when that runs out, the game just starts and your team is down whatever players were not ready at that time point. So, bit of briefing chat going on. Let's get ready for the shield game now on court 2. Last bits of choices. So the teams here must have a minimum of 8 ranks in shields across their team. They can have more than that, but they can't have less than 8 ranks in shields, because what we're looking at here is how do they use the shields, what's their defense play, their counter defense play, and so on, and how it works through on that. Court 1 is now getting prepped and ready for their scale 1 game. Here we go. Court 2, just in the final countdown to begin the game. Really heavy shields going in from Mongooses, 2 rank 5 shielders. They're going all out on the defense here. Let's see if it's going to be the right choice for them. Can Wolfpack focus fire and get those shields down? Wolfpack shields going up early, so they've got a lot less shields, but they can get some points on the board early on, especially if they can focus fire and drive down those, punch their way through those Mongoose shields. Mongoose have got a lot of shields, but by default they've therefore sacrificed an awful lot of other points to have those shields. Single point on the board at the moment for Wolfpack. Mongoose is doing a lot of firepower to have those shields, but they've got that first point on the board at the halfway mark now. 1 point apiece. Wolfpack doing a great job of tearing down those Mongoose shields though. 3 shields remaining for Mongoose now, 2 points apiece. They've got 2 shields left in the bank. 1 shield left in the bank. So almost everything now deployed for Mongooses. All the Wolfpack have still got a shield in the bank as well. 2 point lead. 1 point lead now for Mongooses. 2 point lead for Mongooses. That is all the Mongoose shields out. Wolfpack still with a shield in the bank at 5 seconds. That's a mistake. They needed to get that last shield up and played. 3, 2, and their shield got clipped as he moved in. And that's a win there for Mongooses. 7 points to 3. So it was really good work from Wolfpack in terms of cutting their way through those Mongoose shields, but just too many shields, and unfortunately not getting their own final shield up in time. That was a tactical error from them as well there. So not taking anything away from Mongooses there. Good choices from them. Good, really lock the whole court down with that shielding strategy. Not enough charge there from Wolfpack players to cut through those Mongoose shields, unfortunately. And yeah, and obviously leaving 1 shield basically in the bank at the end of the game. Not a great tactic there from Wolfpack, unfortunately. So court 2, Wolfpack Mongoose is just getting ready for their 1v1. Court 1 here, Nano versus IDK, getting ready for their scale 1 game. Tim from Mongoose is there, going for the red, and Mikey there on Wolfpack, going for the blue, going for their 1v1. So both these players are very, very good on their evasion play. They're both very accurate. Intrigued to see how that one plays out. Looks like court 1 get themselves pretty much good to go now for their 3v3 scale 1 game. Okay, and that's court 2 starting off first, so we'll stay on here for the moment. Both players going for aggressive builds, slightly smaller scale for blue, and slightly higher speed. So it'll be interesting to see how those two play out. Okay, Court 1 just starting off in their Scale 1 game. Great firepower with both teams. First point on the board there for Wolfpack. Huge amount of support being shouted in from his teammates. Mongoose trying to get earn a bit of breathing space with the shield, not helping him though. 2 points to nothing there. At the halfway mark. Quickly flip across to see how we're doing on Court 1. 4 to nothing there on the Scale 1 game. IDK currently heavily in control there. Both teams going down for firepower options. Back to Court 2 for our on the 1v1. First point on the board for Mongoose is there. Great dodge and evasion work from both players. Beautiful timing on that shield there from the blue side. Catching the red shot as it came in. Single marker in play for red here, triple marker in play on blue. 10 seconds on the clock, 3-1, and that is going to be a Wolfpack win on Court 2. Okay, so back to Court 1. 10 seconds remaining there as well. Yep, Court 2 finished up 1 point to 3 to Wolfpack. 8-1, 9-1 win there for IDK in the Scale 1 game on Court 1. Okay, so Court 2 looking really interesting at this stage. So it's currently 3 games to 2 in favour of Fighting Mongooses on Court 2. So neither team has claimed the bonus point yet as we move into Game 6. So for the bonus point, Mongooses need to win either 6 or 7, whereas Wolfpack need to win both games. So Game 6 is the limited stats game, where the team's obviously got to decide where they're going to go in terms of those points, how they're going to spend them and split them across their team. And Game 7 is back to the freestyle. So we know the freestyle was very, very close. A couple of early points from Mongooses that he managed to hold on to, managed to carry him through on that one. And these games all the way through between Mongooses and Wolfpack have been really, really close. So very, very hard to tell how this is going to go. Obviously, Mongooses are only needing to take 1 game to take the bonus point. The odds are in their favour, but Wolfpack obviously quite capable of potentially taking both games as they work through this sequence. Court 1 now, Team No versus IDK, just getting ready for their 2v2 freestyle. Okay, right, 10 seconds left to be ready on Court 2. So looks like Court 2 is going to start off first, so we'll start following from here. And keep an eye on how players go on Court 1 at the same time. So both teams going for sort of a spread of stats across their players. As ever, especially in these sort of restricted games, those early points really, really important because it's so much harder to sort of close the gap on your opponents. Great groundwork on the front corner there from Wolfpack. First point on the board to Wolfpack. Court 1 No versus IDK in their 2v2, currently 1-0 to IDK. 2-1 here, 3-1 to Wolfpack, 4-1 to Wolfpack. Great play from them here. Halfway mark, 3-point lead. If they can just keep this momentum going, they're going to take this round down to the wire for a Game 7 decider for the bonus point. Very quickly going to pull us across to Court 1. On the 2v2 there. Nice evasion work. I think No trying to open distance, trying to keep themselves mobile. IDK, they're just too accurate on those shots. Really punching them in. IDK generally, watch the style there, generally go for a 2 versus 1 wherever possible. The last 5 seconds now on Court 2. 8 points to 4. Great work. 9-5. Great work from Wolfpack. And that's 3 games apiece. So it's a 7th game decider for the bonus point on Court 2. And back to Court 1. 11-0 win there for IDK in the 2v2. So it's currently 3 games straight wins there for IDK on Court 2. So currently dominating there against Team No. Team No putting up a great fight, but just that extra experience, that speed of IDK, absolutely telling in these early stages. Okay, apparently Dan having questions for his team. So for those who've watched Monkeys play before, the long-term player Dan is not with them today, as he has priorities that we all agree unfortunately go beyond being here on HADO pitch for them. So teams getting ready to play into this last game. So this is game 7 of the sequences, Mongooses versus Wolfpack. They currently have 3 game wins apiece. So this is for the bonus point. Here we go. So court 2, final game. So we've got shields on Mongooses, charge rate on Wolfpack. So that would seem like a big problem there for Mongooses. Their shields should get ripped through, and they are being. Wolfpack absolutely tearing their way through those Mongoose shields. As we've seen in some of the previous matches, Josh and Mongoose, as they're playing the shields, has a habit of throwing shields as they get ripped down, because he burns the shields very quickly. It's all of the Mongoose shields gone now. 4 points apiece, 5-4. Mongooses with a massive amount of work to do here. All their defensive play gone, so player 2 is now a huge disadvantage. He's got really very little he's able to do here because of that, and a massive amount of firepower coming out of the Wolfpack team. They have gone for pure firepower here, so very, very high charge rate, so a massive amount of fire coming into the Mongoose team. Single point lead currently for Wolfpack, 2 point lead for Wolfpack. And the next game started on court 1. Obviously, this is a decider for the match. We're going to hold on to court 2 for the time being. 10 seconds, 12-9. This looks like Wolfpack are going to take the match. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 games to 3. Wolfpack take the match against Mongooses. That's Wolfpack 4 games to 3 with the bonus point. So back to court 1 now. 6 points, nothing at the moment here for IDK. 5 seconds now. Game 4, so this is their Shields game. 9-0 there. Blue player 5 absolutely on fire. So really, really good play there from Blue 5. Absolutely tearing through Team No. 50% accuracy is good. I mean, Team No are a really good team. They're very, very capable. They're starting to become really quite experienced, and for someone to land 50% of their hits on them, that's good. It's very unusual for people to get quite that level of accuracy in play as they work through. So, anyone who's watched the sport for a while knows how good IDK are, but say if you've seen any of the local regionals or even the Southern Regional team No went down to play in, they are a very good team. They start to get really experienced in there. And looking at some of the comments in chat. That last match, that game 7 in the sequence there between Mongooses and Wolfpack. I mean, clearly they took the right option there with Wolfpack. We're going through into all charge rate. Mongooses making a big tactical error. We're taking that shield player. Just got his shields torn apart. That was a mistake, quite frankly. Here we go though, back onto match. So this is the 1v1 coming in from court 1, No versus IDK. No still looking to get a good performance in here. They've been putting a lot of work in on their 1v1 playing training. Let's see if it pays off for them. So nice little sidestep there, but he's getting whittled down. 3 of his markers gone so far from the team No player. Yet to land anything on the IDK player. Hold himself right, and both players maximising distance across the court here, firing those diagonals. That's a first clip onto the IDK player, though. Team No with a lot of work to do here. Really risky with that 1 marker, and first point on the board to IDK. 1-0 here, and an immediate counter clip as the No player comes back into play as well. Just 1 point on it, though. Second clip on the No player. Huge amount of work to do here. He's got to really try and predict the movement of the IDK player and shoot ahead of him. He's down to his last marker point. 10 seconds. Bring up a shield, because you might as well at this stage. Try and limit your opponent in any way you can. Got another clip in, but again, just clipping the IDK player. Holding to a 0-1, that was good. That is not an easy thing to do, again, against the IDK players. Holding them just to a 1-0 and a 1v1 like that. Very, very good play. It's always good to win the game, but if in a 1v1, if you can hold an IDK player to a 1-0, that's good. Take that. So, Court 2 is now getting ready for its next matchup. So, next round coming through, next set up coming through on Court 2 now is going to be the Boss playing on red versus Wolfpack again on blue. So, all the teams get back-to-backs. And this is Wolfpack's back-to-back. So, they've gone from Mongooses, their long-term rivals who they've just taken that league match against, 44 games to 3. Now up against the Boss, who, again, those who've been following the sport in the UK know Boss are a very, very strong team. They've just caused that major upset by defeating IDK in the Southern Regionals. As they are, absolutely one of our top flight UK teams. So it's a great deal of work from Wolfpack here. Any game that they can take off against the Boss here is going to be good. I would love to see a Wolfpack win because I'm slightly biased in their favour. However, experience-wise, this is going to be tough. This is by far and away the toughest and hardest of the Wolfpack matches for them in the sequence. And there is a good chance that the Boss are going to take the set all 7 games, which is why anything that Wolfpack managed to take off them, if they can take a game, that is going to be a major, major victory for them. They'd be incredibly proud if they can take a game off the Boss. As you said, the Boss were the team that a few weeks ago broke IDK's 5-year undefeated run in the UK, which means that they're a phenomenal team. Great players. Obviously, they're the IDK's sister team and trading partners. So there's a lot of crossover between the two of them, but to actually beat the IDK in tournament is as we know, it's a hell of an achievement. So Wolfpack were up against by far and away their strongest opponents in this sequence. Right, puts us back over to Court 1. So Court 1, this is game 6 in the sequence for No versus IDK. This is the limited stats round. So teams only allowed to play a minimum of their stat points. So 8 points out of the standard 18, which means what we're going to see is those players, we'll see some players effectively playing on base stats of 1-1-1. We're going to see some level of distribution between them though. So the interesting thing is, have they split them across the team? Have they powered up a single player? Have they, where have they gone? What have they done? We see some really quite interesting combinations and builds here. So it's always fun to see what it is that those teams have gone with, what choices they've made, and whether they're going to be effective against each other, because you've got that big disparity that you get across the team with the different options they have in the stats and things. Communities in very different gameplay. So we've got a bit of charge across the board there from IDK, a little bit of speed going in from Team No.
Team No pretty much putting gambling everything on red player 3. IDK with a bit more of an even spread. As I realised, I haven't transferred that back across. Sorry about that, guys. Too many screens in here now. We've got this production studio ready. So 2-0 moment for IDK. Court 2, Boss versus Wolfpack has just started. It's currently 5-0 to Boss in the opening game. It's very halfway mark. 4-0 currently here on Court 1 though. 6-0 now to IDK versus Team No. 7-0, 10 seconds remaining. Beginning to win the game here in round 6 for IDK against Team No. 10-0. Okay, Court 2. 12-1 currently, Boss versus Wolfpack in the opening game. Court 2, 16-3. Okay, Boss really showing why they were the team that broke IDK's winning streak there. Seen Wolfpack, very good, very capable team, but Boss just absolutely coming out all guns blazing there in a full-on blitz. And that last game that went through on Court 1 with the 0-10 win for IDK versus Team No, showing that why when Team No are landing points, they're getting so many cheers, because hitting IDK at all is worth cheering about. Obviously, we're hoping that as things develop further and further through, we're seeing some phenomenal new teams starting to come through. Really great skills, great gameplay starting to come through from these new teams. And we go more and more teams doing what the Boss have done, close that gap, and then eventually manage to get to a point where they truly are a threat to IDK. So we get a greater number of teams at this top end in the UK leagues, really pushing the whole gameplay element forwards. Teams now just getting ready for the final game of the sequence on Court 1. Court 2 get themselves ready now for their Scale 1 game. So 3v3 Scale 1. So generally we see this as speed and charge rate, which looks like what the Boss players are going for. Looking at their pre-match prep there. We saw last time Wolfpack used a shielding tactic, dropping shields centre pitch to stop crossfire. It worked for them against the Mongooses. I'm not so sure it will work against the Boss though. They're a lot more effective at that sort of cutting down of the opposing team shields. So let's see where they've gone. Well, they're trying it again. They're going to see whether they can drop those shields to cause chaos. So generally shields not an advised tactic on this round because of the amount of additional charge rate the teams are using. In fact, they're doing that same tactic though, really nice, dropping that shield centre pitch just to kill crossfire, reducing that shots coming in. You're not actually hiding behind it, so not pulling shots onto the shield itself. 2-0 at the moment to the Boss. Wolfpack need to get that first score. 2-1. Problem here on the Scale 1 games is that there's a lot of fire in the air, but you've got to hit each player 4 times. So, it's tough enough to hit players from the Boss at all, but hit them 4 times a piece just to get that point up. But a lot of damage being done to the Boss life markers, set to their players on single marker here. 5-1 at the moment to the Boss. And Wolfpack get another point on the board. 20 seconds remaining. 6-2. Good work from Wolfpack. Said they're not going to win this game, but they're putting up a really good fight against a phenomenal team. 8-3. 5 seconds. Good fight there from Wolfpack. So the boss are very, very good. You know, they anyone that could take down IDK has got to be taken incredibly seriously. As we saw, the Team No versus IDK was I think No managed to score 2 points out the first 6 matches. They've got their 7th match just about to start, which is the 3v3 freestyle. I think they're pretty much good to go now on court 1 for this final game. Yep, here we go. So, straight firepower across the board, both teams. Let's see what Team No can do with that. Space themselves nicely on the back wall, good bit of head movement and evasion. IDK as expected. Nice shift, slow moves, slides, really make themselves hard to target. First one on board for IDK. Second one on for IDK now. Third point for IDK at the halfway mark. Compared to the Team No, though, 3-0 in the all-out round. First round, this was 12-1, a 12-1 win for IDK in the freestyle. We've got the 2v2 just getting prepped and ready to go on court 2. And court 2 have gone, Wolfpack again have gone Shields in the mix, Shield and Assassin versus 2 Assassins on the boss. First one on board for the boss on court 2. 7-1 here on court 1 though. 8-1 now. 9-1. That was 12-1 result first round. 9-1, so still an IDK win, but fundamentally a better result there for Team No in that final match. But it's a 7 game win, so 7 match points plus the bonus, so 8-0 there for IDK against Team No. 3-0 here currently in the 2v2 between Wolfpack on blue and the boss on red. 4-0 now. 5-0. Wolfpack still with 1 shield in the bank. 7-0. 8-0. 9-0. Wolfpack really getting torn apart here. 5 seconds. Great shield timing there from the boss. Red player 3 absolutely chewing his way through the Wolfpack there. 8-0 on the KD ratio. It was worth it, that shield tactic, if they could have got the timing on it, maybe, but boss are just too good at tearing those shields down, unfortunately. So that is court 1's currently on reset at the moment, as they're waiting for their next teams to cycle round. So court 2, we've got our first 3 games, so moving on to game 4 now. So just a reminder, game 4 in our sequence is the game 4 is the 3-on-3 with shields. So we're looking for defensive play and counter defensive play from both of the teams. See what they can do here. You've seen both of these teams very capable on this particular round. So this is both about how well you can place your shields, how quickly can you tear down your opposing team's shields, and and land those points at the same time. So shield angle, shield position, timing, all these things are absolutely crucial if you want to win this round. Teams just in sort of final prep here at the moment, just getting themselves logged, ready and registered in to get in for this next round. pre-game fun going on there between Boss and Wolfpack. Okay, so court one gone slightly out of sequence from our original plan due to delays from Advanced Team arriving. So we just had No versus IDK on court one. Next up on court one, if we're staying to the standard rotation, would be Synergy versus IDK. Unless Barnsley managed to arrive with us, in which case it will be shipped back to the early matches. So we will keep you in the loop on that one as we find information out. And see if we can get an idea on where that next pairing is on court one. And Barnsley here, I can see them on the court one camera. So Barnsley Griffins, who are our Northern Region champions, have now arrived. Managed to evade and finally escape the one who's travelling by rail to get the ball down here. Right, here we go. Court two. Shields and counter shielding. Two teams with very similar build sets. Slightly more charge rate on the Wolfpack side. First point on board for the Boss, though. Second one for the Boss. That Boss shield staying up way too long. Wolfpack should have torn that shield down much faster. 4-0 at the moment for the Boss. Shield staying up far too long. Wolfpack do a lot of practicing their training about focus firing on the shields to get rid of them. And those Boss shields are just staying up way too long. 7-0, 8-0 at this stage. Boss shields still got one in the bank here, and the shields are just not being torn down fast enough. They're absolutely cutting the way through the Wolfpack shields there as a counterpoint. And given that Wolfpack have got significantly higher charge rates across their team, it should very much be the other way around. Those Boss shields just staying in place for far too long. 3, 2, 1. That's another win for the Boss. But yeah, in fact, red player 3. Sorry, not win for the Boss. A win for red player 3. 14-0 there. So I don't know what happened there with Wolfpack. They had the right stat sets to deal with that. They had the charge rate, but those Boss shields just staying up for far too long. Okay, and court one, we're now prepping up for Synergy on red versus Barnsley Griffins on blue. The teams there just getting themselves prepped and ready to go in. And obviously, court two, we're now cycling around for match 5, which is the 1v1 freestyle. So, be interesting to see how this one goes. Obviously, 1v1, it's one of those ones that, it's about really who gets that first point, because it is difficult to score those points. And if you can get ahead, that can be enough. Court one, though, we have just kicked off there with Synergy on red versus Barnsley Griffins on blue. So this is match 1 of their sequence. So this is the 1v1 freestyle. Opening points on the board there for Team Synergy against Barnsley Griffins. Against the Midlands Region champions against the Northern Regional champions. 3-1 now for 4-1 for Synergy. Barnsley would start to fight back, though. 2 points on the board. 3 points on the board. Good work there fighting on that fight back against Synergy. Can they pull it to even at the halfway mark? And the 1v1 on court 2 has just started off. Huge charge rate from Boss and shield play. Well, mix of stats across the board there being shown from Wolfpack player. 7-5 and 8-5 now on Synergy versus IDK. Great groundwork on the front line there from Ash. Barnsley putting up a phenomenal fight. Synergy have had to really dig deep and kick the acceleration up here in order to keep themselves in this fight and to pull the game back. 2-0 currently in the 1v1 at the halfway mark on court 2. So can Wolfpack get a point on the board here? Really got a really difficult play here. Single life marker left on both players. 20 seconds on the clock. Not sure that tactic there that was used by Wolfpack of putting those points into shields paid off. 2-1. Wolfpack with a point on the board. 5 seconds to play. It's going to be very, very difficult for this to be anything other than and 3-1. That's a win for the boss. Good play though. So that's the boss taking the first 5 games, obviously now with the bonus point, therefore, from that match. So 3-1 to the boss in the 1v1. So moving on to game 6 in the sequence there. So just a reminder, game 6 in sequence is the limited stat point game for the match between boss and Wolfpack. And Synergy, Barnsley Griffins on court 2. Oh, sorry, on court 1. They are now moving into their scale 1 game, so their accuracy-based game. So both teams just getting themselves prepped and ready. I think the clock's likely to run out on both very soon. Here we go. So court 1 starting off now. This is their scale 1, so both teams going for high speed, high charge rate, no shields. Really good play coming in from both sides. 1 point apiece. Remember, you've got to hit your opponent 4 times, so you've got to take out all 4 of those marker segments. That makes it so much harder once your opponent starts to get even a point ahead of you. 2 points apiece. Barnsley really hold on. 4-2. Fantastic play from Barnsley. Sinji with a huge amount of work to do here. It is hard to get the points in these scale 1 games. 4-3. Coming up at the halfway mark, Barnsley still holding on to a single point lead. Sinji have pulled it back to level. Can they flip the scoreline? Barnsley holding back on pulling that lead ahead. Again, 30 seconds now. 5-all. Synergy doing really well. It's been a while since these two teams have met each other, and Barnsley have been putting in a lot of training and work in the interim. Just starting off on court 2 now, onto the limited points game. 8-5 here. This is looking like a Barnsley win in 10 seconds remaining now. 8-6. Massive hill here for Synergy to climb. 3. 1 point in it. 2 points now. And Barnsley take it 7 points to 9. So limited points game on court 2 here. 3 points to 1, 4 points to 1 in favour of the boss. 5-1. A lot of work for Wolfpack to do. Coming up on the halfway mark. Tom on the front line there for Wolfpack in the front right-hand corner, lasting a really surprising amount of time on that in that low ground position, really forcing the boss to put a huge amount of shots into him. 20 seconds remaining now. 8-2. Just got a little too static in that position now. They're getting their eye in for hitting him down there. He's not getting the advantage that he was getting on the first couple of attempts. 9-2. 10-2, 3, 2, 1. 10 points to 2 to the boss. So. Good play there from Wolfpack. Some interesting play on that front edge there on the blue side, proving that you can make yourself very hard to hit, even in quite a static position. Boss having to put a huge amount of work in to actually get those point scores onto the Wolfpack player. So moving to the 7th and final game in the Boss Wolfpack sequence. So it's back to the 3v3 freestyle on court 2, and Synergy, Barnsley here, getting ready for their game 3, which is their 2v2 freestyle. Just getting the teams logged and ready to go in. So, amazing gameplay there between Barnsley and Synergy. So it's going to be one game piece there. So it's been a while since these two teams have faced off against each other. So they've both got a fair amount of unknown factor. Barnsley doing an awful lot of training themselves up at the college, because the Barnsley Griffin team is part of Barnsley College and their esports department there, and they're a very, very competitive group up there. They're doing a lot of training in-house. It's the first time that a lot of the other teams around the country have seen basically where they're at with that and how that training's been paying off. Puts us back to court 2. So here we go. 3v3 freestyle. This is the 7th and final game. Boss versus Wolfpack. Currently 6 games to nothing in favour of the Boss. 2 points to 1 there. So Boss with an early lead, but Wolfpack on the board. 3-point lead now. 4-point lead. Wolfpack just a little bit too stationary after getting KO'd. They need to get that maintain that mobility throughout and not just wait till they get coming back in. Boss are currently taking advantage of that. There's about a second delay on the Wolfpack players between being hit and starting moving again. And the Boss seem to have got themselves tied into that timing really well and been taking advantage of it. Just getting those slight pauses in movement from the Wolfpack players. 30 seconds remaining, 16-2. 2v2 between Synergy and Barnsley has just started off on court 1. So we're coming back over to that in just a moment. 18-4, it's controlling them again by the Boss here against Wolfpack. 10 seconds remaining. It's Boss win. We'll update you on final score when we get there. Let's pull back across though of how close that after that win from Barnsley in the last round. Be interesting to see what Synergy do here. They're obviously going to try and drive for it, and that finishes as 23.6 in the final game, Boss versus Wolfpack. So 7 match points and the bonus points for the Boss in that match against Wolfpack. 7-1 here, currently on court 1 between Synergy and Barnsley Griffins. 8-2, 20 seconds. Now Barnsley on a fight back now, but Synergy clearly in control of this 2v2. I think they may have significantly misjudged Barnsley not having faced them for a while. Hadn't realised quite how much training they'd put in, and got caught very much by surprise in those early games. I don't think Barnsley are going to get treated lightly by them or anyone else from going out, which they shouldn't be, but I think they anyway. But they did. I think they definitely there was a bit of an adrenaline buzz there for Synergy. They weren't expecting Barnsley Griffins to come out that aggressively or that effectively off the get-go. So they're going to be prepping round now for game 4, which is the Shields game. So we've got game 4 about to start there between Synergy and Barnsley Griffins. So there's Shields 8. And the next team's taking place, the next match on court 2, which we're getting prepped now, is the Boss versus on red versus Fighting Mongooses on blue. So teams just getting themselves prepped and ready there on court 1 for that next matchup. So the Shields game between Barnsley and Synergy. So some really, really good gameplay so far. Some fantastic matchups as we've seen. So currently Synergy taking a clean sweep, 7 games against Team No in their opening match. T-Wolves versus the Boss taking a 7-game sweep there against T-Wolves. Fighting Mongooses versus Wolfpack. It's had a real long-term rivalry. Wolfpack pulling a fantastic win out the bag there, 4 games to 3. So not the clean sweep, but getting the match win and getting the bonus point against the Mongooses. Unfortunately, then followed by, from Wolfpack's perspective, not from the Bosses, for a clean sweep, 7 games to nothing, Boss versus Wolfpack. Then in Court 1, we've had a 7-game sweep there, IDK versus Team No. So IDK taking all 7 games in that sequence. And we are currently on watching, I've got Court 1, teams just getting prepped, going for the game 4 there in their sequence, which is Synergy versus Barnsley. It's currently 2 games to 1 in favour of Synergy. Okay, so this is the game 4. So it is our Shields game that's just getting prepped up for now on Court 1. So this is looking at your shielding play, your counter shielding play, your use of charge rate to get rid of opposing team shields, shield positions for how well you can place them, can you get shots in behind them. So it's all about the defence and counter defence play. And we said on Court 2, getting prepped up now. Next match there is the Boss on red versus Mongooses on blue. And when that match is ready, the opening game there will obviously be a game 1. So a normal 3v3 standard rules without restrictions. However, here we go. Shields, Court 1. Synergy red, Barnsley Griffins blue. Currently 2 games to 1 in favour of Synergy. First points on the board for Barnsley Griffins. So Griffins definitely have caught Synergy by surprise. They haven't realised just how much work they've been putting in their training. Synergy really having to work in a way I don't believe they were expecting to have to in this matchup. Currently they're 3 points to nothing for Barnsley. Synergy still needs to get on the board. Great work here from Barnsley Griffins. Really controlling the gameplay and the pitch. Very similar builds for both sides. First points on the board now for Synergy. Single point advantage for Griffins at the halfway mark. Two-point lead now. 30 seconds remaining. Synergy with a huge amount of work to do here. All of these games with the altered and restricted stats on them, earning points will be very difficult. Synergy's got to put a huge amount of work in to get those points. 3-point lead now for Barnsley. This is looking difficult for Synergy. 5-7, 10 seconds. 6-7. Can they get another point in to pull it back even? 5 seconds remaining now. Can Barnsley hold out? 3 more seconds. 2, 1. Barnsley take it 7 points to 6. That's 2 games apiece in this sequence. Great work from Barnsley Griffins there. Showing they thoroughly deserve to have taken that Northern Championship. And really making Team Synergy there work for everything. So lovely play from them. So two matches apiece there. So that's one could easily go down to the wire. And we're getting prepped up now, ready on Court 2 for the opening games between the Boss on red and Fighting Mongooses on blue. Okay, just waiting for final player log in there on Court 2. And here we go. Opening game. Boss red versus Fighting Mongooses on blue. Double shield tactic coming in from Mongooses. So not sure of how good that's going to be. Boss have proved themselves very good at chopping through shields, and they've got a charge 4 player. Boss regularly seems to play with 2 assassins and a technician, so 2 shooters and a high charge crowd control player. 3-1. This point, not actually a bad scoreline for Mongooses, but if they're really going to go into the shielding world, they need to get those shields up. 5-1 here, 40 seconds on the clock. Mongooses with a lot of shields still to use. 6 unused shields here. 30 seconds remaining. Way too many shields left on the Mongooses. It's like 4 unused shields. Only just under 20 seconds on the clock. And their assassin isn't actually using the shields for protection either here. 7-1, 10 seconds. 1v1 between Synergy and Barnsley just started off on court 1 as well. 10-2. Very strong win there for the boss. 3-1 at the halfway mark in the 1v1 here. Synergy not really going to try and keep hold of this match. As you said, they're currently 2 games apiece, so hugely important if you want to chase for that bonus point. 5-1, great shield there from Synergy, preventing that last minute shot coming in from the Barnsley player. 6 points to 2. Lovely little final shot in there from Barnsley, pulling another point back on the board. So currently 3 games to 2 in that match sequence. So Barnsley can take the next game, which is the limited points game. They'll be able to take that through to a 7th game decider. If Synergy can take game 6, then they'll get the bonus point, and game 7 then is just for not for kicks, but hasn't quite got the same risk factor to it. So getting ready here on court 2 for the scale 1 game. So scale 1 game between Boss and Fighting Mongooses. Just a quick reminder, that is so scale 1 is the second game in the sequence. So generally we're looking here for speed and charge rate. Yep, both teams going identical builds, 4-1-4-1. So speed and charge rate, no shields. So this is going to be a straight firepower game. $20 seconds. No points on the board yet. Great work from Mongooses. 1 point apiece. Fantastic work from them. So we said 2-1. Mongooses in the lead. Mongooses really piling the pressure here onto the boss players. 30 seconds remaining. So boss have got two seven game clean sweeps so far. Boss pulling it back though, 3 points apiece now, 20 seconds on the board. Can Mongooses get that point? Get that next point? They can. 4-3 now. They've just got to hold on to this lead. 10 seconds remaining. 5-3. Can they do it? 5 seconds to hold on to that point lead. 5-4, 3, 2, 1. 5-all. They're going to overtime. Very quickly flipping over to court 1. 4-0 currently to Synergy, just past the halfway mark. Barnes likely to fight their way back from that. Here we go, overtime. And they do it. Mongooses have taken it in overtime. 6 points to 5. They've taken a game from the boss. 7-0 here. Synergy versus Barnsley on court 1. So this is the restricted stats game. And that is 8-1 to Synergy. And that is their 4th game win in this sequence. So Synergy are going to take the bonus point here. But obviously that 7th game is still worth points. It's still valuable. Still worth playing for. So 7th game is back to the 3v3 freestyle. Which Synergy won. But it was a tough game in that opening sequence. So it's great to see how that final one plays out. Court 2 now, after that surprise win there. I'm going to say surprise win, I'm sorry guys, from Mongooses. Phenomenal play, 100% deserved, but I wasn't expecting it, but amazing to see there. So You know, they're doing you proud, Dan. Watching them on the comments there. So moving now into the 2v2 freestyle here. Boss on red versus Mongooses on blue. One game apiece in this sequence. So it's the boss's first game loss in the tournament today. And this is also this is obviously the boss's final match for today as well. And court 1 just getting prepped up there for that final game, so the 3v3 freestyle as between Sinji on red and Barnsley on blue. So here we go. Pretty much all rounder stats there from both sides. A little bit of variation from the boss on red, but both teams obviously going for moving straight, moving shoot combos here. First point on the board for the boss. This player getting aggressive by coming on that front line, which isn't a bad thing, but unfortunately getting caught in the crossfire from both boss players in the process. Fantastic evasion from both teams. Second point on the board, third point on the board now from the boss. Coming up on the halfway mark, 4-0 here. Mongooses need to get a point on the board. 5-0. Boss are going to be out for to really hammer Mongooses after that loss in the previous game. 20 seconds remaining now. 9-0. Mongoose player again driving up on that centre line, really pushing on the aggression on the play, but getting clipped on the crossfires and giving away a point for having done so. 12-1. Mongooses with a point in the dying seconds, but 12-1 to Mongooses there. So that's game 3 in the sequence going to the boss. So back to court 1. They're just starting off now. This is the final game in this sequence for them. Currently 4 games to 2 in favour of Synergy, and we're back to the 3v3 freestyle here. First point's on the board for Synergy. Second point's on for Synergy. Nice play from both sides. Both teams focus very heavily on their firepower here. No shielding. Both teams going for move and shoot. Synergy now seem to very much start to get the feel for the Barnsley team and their tactics. Barnsley starting to get very much controlled in this final game. But they're certainly not going down without a fight. 30 seconds remaining. Barnsley's accuracy is on point. Just not quite enough on that evasion and movement yet. Just need to be able to shift that bit more. Seems to be definitely having that advantage when you're looking at the play style in that maneuverability around the court. 5 seconds remaining, and that's going to be 5 games to 2 win in this match for Synergy. But great play there from Barnsley. So very much seemed to catch Synergy by surprise. Right, let's pull ourselves back to court 2. So currently 2 games to 1 in favour of the boss in Boss versus Fighting Mongooses, and this is game 4. So we're on to our Shields game. Defence and counter defence. So Mongooses again going for a double shield format here. We've seen generally the problem they got with this, they're just not getting the shields up. They're putting shields in not necessarily, well, certainly not the best of positions. Their shield timing isn't great, and they're leaving too many shields till too late. A lot of their previous matches, we've seen them playing where they've put the shields up way too early and fired through them early on. If anything, that might actually be better. It's certainly better than not using all your shields or dropping your shields up at a point where there's just no way you can close the point difference for the opposing team. That boss shield in the centre there lasting far too long. Really need to get that hammered. They've got shields left on the Mongoose side. And their shield, and the problem is their shield is using the shields, their assassin is not. He's been caught out in the open without that shield protection. Boss is just farming him, unfortunately. Nine points, nothing yet. Those boss shields just staying at far too much time. So much focus there from Mongooses on trying to get the shields up, not enough, which is great for defense, but their assassin wasn't behind the shields, and then in turn, nowhere near enough focus on actually getting rid of the shields, but being used by the other side. So 3 games to 1 now in favour of the boss. Game 5 coming up for them next. And game 5 is the 1v1 freestyle. So obviously 1v1. It's difficult once your opponent gets ahead. It's difficult to catch them, but it's also the game where it's probably easiest to get an upset or an unexpected result, because it can just be just that bit of luck, that bit of shift one way or another. Can decide things very, very quickly. So it'll be interesting to see as we've gone out of sequence somewhat on court 1. I'm not sure who we've got coming up next, but as soon as we've got an update on that, we will let you know. So we've got so it's the 1v1 here. 2 players now, just getting the final stages, getting ready. Be interesting to see. The expectation here is we're going to see sort of high charge rates. Sorry, low charge rates, high shot speeds. Tends to be where the combinations run. And next up on court 1 is going to be IDK versus Synergy. We've just had that confirmed. Very interesting mix. So, blue going for speed 1. Incredibly unusual choice in a 1v1, especially against players as good at dodging as the boss players are. Those speed 1 shots really coming in slow. First point on the board for the boss. Second point for the boss. Definitely predict the fortunate Mongoose player there moving quite predictably and staying static during his respawn point. So respawn always takes 3 seconds. If you stay static during respawn, all your opponent has to do is count 1, 2, and fire. And your life markers coming back into play straight into their energy blast. Whole sequence of 1-shot takedowns there from the boss player. 20 seconds, 8-0. 10 seconds on the clock here. Boss player hasn't even clicked yet. That's speed 1 in a 1v1 is a very, very poor tactical choice there, unfortunately. Especially against someone that can dodge the way the boss players can. So a definitive win there, and I've got to say again, tactically poor choice there from the Mongoose player. So that's 4 games so far out of sequence for the boss. So boss take the bonus point. 2 more games to go in this matchup between the boss and fighting Mongooses. So we've got the limited points game, and we have the 3v3 freestyle. Court 1, so we're prepping up now. We have Synergy on red versus IDK on blue. So very long-term rivals, these 2 teams. IDK historically coming out on top between these 2. But you say that with both IDK and the boss taking a game off them is what you go celebrate. It'd be lovely if we had more teams that were at their level, but they are without doubt phenomenal players. And here we go. So Synergy have managed to take games off them historically, but never taken a match. Let's see how today's going to play out. pretty similar builds, both sides, both pretty much firepower orientated. A little bit more speed from the Synergy side, a little bit more shot rate from IDK. And the limited points games just kicking off on court 2. Red player 3 seems to be the hope for the boss. Most of the points spent there, whereas Mongooses spread their points quite evenly. So from the halfway mark here. So on court 1, Synergy versus IDK, currently 4-0 for Synergy. For IDK, Synergy still get a point board, and there's their first point. Second point. Great work there from Synergy. Can they close this gap any further, or IDK going to hit the accelerating star and push this out of their range? So last 15 seconds, we historically generally see a massive acceleration from IDK, especially if they feel they're under pressure in any way. Amazing evasion work both sides there. And that looks like we've had a loss of marker on a red player. So a track and fail there on the red player on the front edge. So we'll see what the referee calls on that one. Goes back over to court 2. 20 seconds here. This is our limited points game. 3-1 currently to the boss. And that is a 4-1 win in the limited points game to the boss in round 6. So 5 games to the boss and 1 to Mongooses in this matchup, with the final 3v3 freestyle game to go. So getting ready for that. This final game now on court 2. Of a boss versus fighting Mongooses. Teams just get themselves prepped and ready up. So I said final game on the court 2 sequence. Second game for IDK and Synergy there. Just getting ready to start on court 1. And also be the scale 1 game between IDK and Synergy. And court 1 is ready. As soon as court 1 is ready, court 2 is going to be coming up to time now. So they only get 100 seconds between each game, and if you're not ready, tough, the game just starts. Unless there is a technical fault that requires us to take a little bit longer over things. So again, some really, really nice gameplay going on there. Great win for Mongooses against the boss in that game 2 of the sequence. The boss coming out clearly all guns blazing after that. Really looking to drive the dominance out of the match. They've already taken bonus point. Let's see how they do in the final game of the sequence. So no shields either side. Straight firepower for the 3v3 freestyle. First 2 points on the board for 3 points now. Just 10 seconds play. 4-0 now for the boss. Mongooses with a huge amount of work to do here. just to get that first point on the board. Boss being absolutely ruthless in the firepower coming across there. You look there, they're clearly focusing shots as a team, all into single target groups to pull those points, to give them nowhere to dodge and pull those points in. Scale 1 game on court 1 has just started, currently 15 seconds in, 0-0 score. 30 seconds left on the clock here. Second point in for Mongooses. So it's going to be another win for the boss, but Mongooses actually making them work for it this time around, which is good. The boss not quite able to dominate in the way that we know they'd like to. Mongooses fighting just absolutely down to the wire, but that is without doubt a boss win here on court 2. Shifts across to court 1. Currently only 2 points to 0 in favour of IDK in the scale 1 game. Five, 4-5-1 currently to IDK. The scale 1 game is tough to earn those points. You have to hit your opponent 4 times to take out each of those sections of the life marker. So every point here is tough, and especially against teams like IDK. Phenomenal dodging just on that top edge of the pitch there from Paris, spiraling himself around those incoming shots. So next up for Sinji versus IDK is going to be game 3, which is the 2v2 freestyle. So very, very nice play from them there. So that's the Mongooses and boss match finished. That's 6 game wins to 1 in favour of the boss. So the boss take the bonus point, meaning the boss have taken a total of 23 match points. Out of a potential 24. So incredible play from them there. Mongooses at this stage with 4 match points. T-Wolves currently on 0, but with 2 matches to play. Wolfpack with 5 points and a match to play. So court 1 getting prepped up now for that 2v2 freestyle between Synergy on red and IDK on blue. Here we go, 2v2. So pretty much firepower across the board. Two to nothing currently to IDK. Sinji looking for that first point. Great evasion and floor work from both sides there. Both teams have got phenomenal dodging capacity. IDK unfortunately just having the edge from a Synergy perspective. Obviously not from their own. 3 to nothing here for IDK. Synergy still looking for that first point. Since you really need to work more as a team here, focus fire onto a single player at a time, rather than splitting their shots across the pitch. Nice bit of crossfire there going in from Synergy, but not enough, unfortunately, to earn a point. 4-0 here. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds. 5-0. 6-0. That is a definitive controlling win there from IDK. That's 3 games out of this match sequence currently to IDK. And you take game 4 to guarantee the bonus point. Obviously, Senji still looking for their first game win in the sequence. So, following on, we have T-Wolves versus Fighting Mongooses, about propping up on Court 2, which will be followed by T-Wolves versus Wolfpack. For our final 2 matches on Court 2. Obviously, Court 1 at the moment, we have our Sinji IDK as it's running through there. We have IDK against Barnsley and Team No versus Barnsley still to come after the Sinji IDK matchup. Sinji IDK are getting themselves prepped, and it looks like Court 2 here with T-Wolves on red and Fighting Mongooses on blue is pretty much ready to go. So this is going to be interesting. T-Wolves, just like Wolfpack, have had long-standing rivalry against Mongooses. Let's see if they can follow in Wolfpack's footsteps, or whether Mongoose is going to manage to hold their own here. Mongoose has dropped their shield tactics, which has really not been working in those earlier games, and gone straight firepower. So a big shift in gameplay and tactics from them. First point on the board there for Mongooses. A second point for Mongooses. T-Wolves on the board now, 2 points to 1. Very even play from the 2 sides at this stage. 2 points all at the halfway mark. Double score there from T-Wolves. T-Wolves now opening a 2-point lead. Mongoose is starting to fight back. Pulled it back, 4 points apiece. Can they flip the scoreline? Looks like it's been another fantastic matchup with these 2 teams here. Very, very even play here in the opening sequence. Single point lead for Mongooses. 15 seconds remaining. What can T-Wolves do? Can they pull this back? 2 points now, 10 seconds. 3 points. It looks like Mongooses are going to take this first game. 9-7. Great last-ditch attempt there from T-Wolves, but Mongooses just opened up too big a lead there. Couldn't lock it down there fast enough to pull themselves back into the game. But that's a hint about how this sequence is going to go. I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup between these 2 teams. Really, really great gameplay there. Here we go, back to Court 1. So this is Sinji IDK. So this is the Shields round. So looking at defence and counter-defence play. Both teams very, very strong here. Interesting, neither teams have gone for an all-out rank 5 shielder. Both split the shielding ranks across their players. First point on the board for IDK. Sinji looking for their first score. Second point on the board for IDK. Coming up on the halfway mark now. Both teams still being relatively frugal with the shields though. 3 strong shields left on both sides. 2 on Sinji's side now. Sinji's still needing that first score. IDK shield's been punched through, but still nothing on the board yet for Synergy. 5-0 now. 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. 6-1 there for IDK in the Shields round. Okay, so it's a Scale 1 matchup. T-Wolves versus Fighting Mongooses. T-Wolves have gone double shields. So we've seen shield tactics starting to be used in these Scale 1 games. And it's a really odd choice. Because unless your opponents have also made the same option, they would have pumped a lot of points into charge rate. 1 point apiece here. 2-1 for T-Wolves. Are they going to be able to make this tactic work? As I said, it's not normally something you see at all in these Scale 1 games. 3-2, 40 seconds played. T-Wolves with a lot of shields still in the bank though. They need to get those shields up. They've got a point advantage. Can't afford to give anything away. So right in front, near side player here down to his final shield. His final shield down the far side player. 4 shields in the bank. Got to get those shields used. 3 points apiece. They've got 4 unused shields on T-Wolves' side in 10 seconds remaining. What is going on? Got to get those shields up. He's so focused on shooting. T-Wolves take the game, but 4 unused shields. It was a T-Wolves win, but it should have been a dominating T-Wolves win. But those shields should have gone up. If you're not going to use the shields, don't put the points into them. Stick them in somewhere they're going to give you much more benefit. So here we go. 1v1 freestyle on court 1. Synergy versus IDK. Synergy looking for their first game win in this sequence. Really nice gameplay from both sides. Synergy using a lot more cross-court positioning. IDK done a lot of corner evasion, now shifting out across the pitch. Great use of high and low as well as the horizontal motion. And forward, backwards across the pitch. Nice head dodge there from Synergy. Still needing that first clip though on IDK. It's still an intact IDK target. First point to IDK. Good shield timing there from IDK, soaking up hits from his opponent. They're both on low charge rate, so even that rank 1 shield causes a lot of problems. 15 seconds now. Synergy needing that point. So close. Synergy marker getting clipped. He's down. He's got 2 points in it. And 1-0 there for win there for IDK. Fantastic gameplay. So T-Wolves Mongooses 1 game apiece so far. This is the 2v2 freestyle. (2-1) to T-Wolves. Can they keep this going? 3-1 and get that momentum going. Nice shield on the front line, just causes a little bit of chaos. 4-1 there. 5-1. Great play here from T-Wolves. Absolutely cutting the way into the Mongooses here. 6-2. Mongooses starting to fight back, but they've got a huge amount of work to do here. They need 4 points, and there's only 2 players on the other side, so only 2 points available at any moment in time. 20 seconds remaining. So it's looking like we're going to see another T-Wolves game win here. 10 seconds. 9-4. 9-5. Great work from T-Wolves. Really good movement around the pitch from both sides. But T-Wolves absolutely flying around that pitch, making themselves, as can be seen there, exceptionally hard to hit. great movement, good distancing, nice amount of shots, good accuracy, very, very good play, and a well-deserved win there for T-Wolves. Mongoose is putting up a really valiant resistance, but no way they were going to really get back into that game after that. Court 1's now prepping up for the limited points game. So just a quick reminder on that. So Court 1 getting ready for game 6. So 3-on-3, but status 20. So they have they're limited on the number of their stat points they can spend. So we get to see how they choose to try and distribute those across their teams, what tactics and ideas they go for, how they're going to look to split and spread that out. Whereas Court 2, so T-Wolves versus Mongooses, is now moving on to their game 4, so their Shields game. So defence and counter-defensive play. So really, really good gameplay coming through here from the teams. Synergy. They haven't taken a game from IDK, but they're making them work far more than any of the other teams in their pool, which is great to see, and some amazing evasion, dodging, manoeuvres going on there from the different teams in those IDK synergy matches. They are just incredible to watch. The athleticism, the way they move around the pitch, absolutely phenomenal to see how they're shifting and trying to evade around those shots. But let's get some more gameplay back on. So back to Court 2. T-Wolves Mongooses. Game 4, so this is the defence and counter-defence game. So heavy shielding. So we've seen T-Wolves like taking shield stats, but are they actually going to remember to use all of their shields this time? Double shielding going in from double heavy shielder from both sides here. First point on the board for Mongooses. Second point on there for Mongooses. Those Mongoose shields are staying up way too long, but as is this T-Wolf shield on the front edge. That's stayed in play for far too long as well. Halfway mark, just 1 point in it. Court 1 game has just kicked off, and that's our limited points game. It's currently 1 point to nothing for IDK with 15 seconds played. Still just 1 point in it here on Court 2. Phenomenal shield walls going up from both sides. Just not enough focused fire going in to get rid of those shields though. 3-1. Looking like it's going to be a Mongoose win here. Unless T-Wolves can pull something phenomenal out the back here in the dying 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And Mongoose will take the game. Back to Court 1. So this is our limited points game, limited stats game, currently 40-0 for IDK. 15 seconds remaining. Sinji's still trying to get that first point on the board here. So, the point scores may not be as high as with some, and IDK are taking the sequence, but the athleticism and groundwork from both sides is just incredible. Absolutely amazing to see these two teams, the way they move, the way they shift across the space, the way they're using the court area. Really, really, really good to see. Phenomenal displays of athleticism from both sides there. So Court 2 is just getting ready now for the 1v1 freestyle. So there's one game remaining to go on Court 1, which is the 3v3 freestyle, which they'll be prepping up for next. And this is game 5 in the sequence here on Court 2. So T-Wolves versus Fighting Mongooses, and it's 1v1 freestyle. Yep, just looking at the chat there from Throwing to Towel. Yeah, the gameplay has just been incredible. That's why obviously these teams have fought their way through here, through the local and regional tournaments to earn their positions in the top 8 in the UK. So there is no easy team here, no easy match. There is obviously a variation in skill levels, but all of these teams are good. And looks like we have an error there on court. We had a blue player who was logged in and shouldn't have been. So I expect we'll be seeing a reset and replay there on Court 2. Yeah. So Court 1 said there, this is the final Synergy IDK sequence. So there you guys getting ready for that, the 3v3 freestyle. Court 2 just getting resetting there. There was an additional player logged in onto the 1v1. So just removing that headset, having been spotted by the referee before the game started. So we're just getting a reset and replay on the 1v1. So here we go. The 1v1's about to kick off again. It's currently 2 games apiece in this sequence between T-Wolves and Fighting Mongooses. Really nice motion from both players there. And Court 1 has just started into their final game. 3v3 freestyle. 20 seconds play, currently 1-0 in favour of IDK. So 0-0 here on the 1v1. This could be one of those games where it's just a single point that decides the whole thing. Just who can get that first hit. Really good control from both players controlling the pitch. Currently 6-0, 30 seconds remaining in the Synergy IDK game on Court 1. We'll across there very quickly. Hope we don't miss this point score on Court 2. And we did. T-Wolves get a point. It's 1-0 on Court 1. 7-0 here for IDK. Amazing movement from both teams again. But this is going to be a definite IDK win on the Court 1 there. 3 seconds remaining. 2, 1. IDK take it. And T-Wolves are taking it 3-0 here on Court 2. So really good play from all the teams there. That's 7 games and the bonus point for IDK in their match there against Synergy. Great play across the board there. But the athleticism and movement from both of those teams was just mind-blowing. But IDK, again, proving why they're the long-term champions here in the UK with that clean sweep. So, shifting back to Court 2, we are just going to Game 6 of the limited stats game, 3v3. We are on 3 games to T-Wolves versus 2 games to Mongooses, going to Game 6. Both teams pretty much pinning their hopes on a single player. First point on the board there for T-Wolves. 20 seconds played. Searching for that first point. Good evasion work. They're stacking up on this front edge from T-Wolves. Mongooses unable to take advantage of it though. Players when they stack up without a shield like that make themselves much easier to hit because you're far towards the group and it's very hard to end up not hitting something. But Mongooses weren't able to take advantage of it. 2-1 currently to T-Wolves. A lot of coaching going from the sidelines from the subs for the teams. 5-1 now for T-Wolves. 20 seconds remaining. 5-2. Big fight back needed from Mongooses here. It's not impossible, but it's a huge amount of work to do. T-Wolves proving that they're very hard to hit. 6-3. Another win in for T-Wolves. So it's 4-2 in favour of T-Wolves. So T-Wolves take the bonus point. Final game in this sequence to play. So Court 1 teams now getting prepped. So it's looking. This is Barnsley Griffins on Court 1. They have got 2 matches to play. So they've got IDK and No still to play against. So Barnsley Griffins are going to be with us through to the end here because they've got a back-to-back. And it looks like it is IDK for their first one. So they've got IDK versus Barnsley Griffins, followed by and then No versus Barnsley Griffins. And on Court 2, we have this final game. So the 3v3 freestyle. So it's currently 4-2 in favour of T-Wolves. Let's see what Mongooses can do. Obviously, T-Wolves are going to take the bonus point here, but every game is worth points. Every game matters. It doesn't matter if you lost the last 6. Obviously, they haven't lost the last 6. They've only lost 4 of them. But every game matters. Every game is worth points. Everything's worth playing for. Yeah, agreed. Looking at the chat there. Yeah, T-Wolves have been playing phenomenally well here. Let's see what we can pull off. So we've got heavy shields from Mongooses. Firepower from T-Wolves. Centre shield going in from Mongooses. Using the tactic we've seen from Wolfpack to try and cut down some of that crossfire. First points on the board for Mongooses. Two all. T-Wolves are pulled it back level. Can they get rid of that shield? Mongooses really need to capitalise on those shield positions when they get them up. T-Wolves need to hammer those shields the moment they come into play. 40 seconds remaining. Mongooses currently with a 2-point lead, 3-point lead. T-Wolves really need to get rid of those shielding points. Mongooses are actually managing to capitalise on them. Doing a great job using those shields. Pull themselves ahead. T-Wolves really hammering. 3-player crossfire there on Alex. Took a while to get him, but there was no way out of that crossfire in the end. But nonetheless, Mongoose is still holding that lead. 2 points. And we've had something looks like a technical error on a T-Wolf player. And that's game being called. We'll get hopefully get a message from the referee about the issue there, but that looked like a device failure on one of the T-Wolf players. Court 1 here, we have IDK on red, Barnsley Griffins on blue, getting prepped up for the opening game of their match, which obviously should be a 3v3 freestyle game. Obviously it's going to be, but Barnsley Griffins coming absolutely, blazing out the starting blocks against Synergy, very much catching them by surprise. Unfortunately, they don't know. Now they've done that, they don't have that element of surprise against IDK. So I don't think IDK are going to treat them very seriously from the get-go, which is both complimentary, but also not great for the chances. So let's see how the teams here go. Here we go. So opening game. IDK Barnsley. Both teams favouring firepower builds. Let's see how Barnsley match up to IDK's movement and evasion techniques. First point on the board there for IDK. Two-one to IDK. Great work for Barnsley. 20 seconds played. Shield staying up for far too long on the front edge there. Giving that the rank 1 shield. 3-1. 4-1 for IDK. Coming up on the halfway mark. Barnsley 4 points down. A lot of work to do. Again, those IDK shields being allowed to just sit. Very, very problematic. They need to get rid of much faster than that. They only take a couple of shots to take out of play. They're only rank 1s. 20 seconds. Third point on the board for Barnsley. You see in terms of previous matches against IDK, landing 3 points on them, that's a big achievement. The odds were never in Barnsley's favour here, but landing multiple points against IDK is in itself an achievement. So the first game there goes decisively to IDK. Game 2 in the sequence there on court 1 will obviously be the scale 1. Looks like the technical issue on court 2 has been resolved. And teams getting themselves prepped and ready to replay the final game in the sequence there between T-Wolves and Fighting Mongooses. So currently 4 games to in favour of T-Wolves, so we know T-Wolves are taking the bonus point. But can Mongooses pull a game point back here? Teams staying with the same stats. So when there's a replay of a game, you have to keep the same players on the pitch, but you don't have to keep the same game stats. So teams here have chosen to do so, by the looks of it. First point on the board there for T-Wolves. Shield down the front edge now from Mongooses. Can they capitalise on it and get some points on the board? Yes, they can. 1 point. 2-1 now to T-Wolves. 3-1 to T-Wolves. Shield on the far side there, but Mongoose Assassin's only just moving up to take advantage of the cover. That was there for a long time without anybody using it. 4-2. 30 seconds remaining. 4-3 Mongoose is fighting back hard here. 20 seconds remain. Just 1 point separating the teams. 4-all. Mongoose has pulled it level. Can they flip the scoreline? Good shield in the centre point there, giving cover. Didn't manage to capitalise on it though, and T-Wolves have landed the first point. Another point. 5-4. 5-all. 5 seconds remaining. 6-5. 3 seconds. Can Mongooses do it again? 7-5. T-Wolves take final game in the sequence. 7 points to 5. Court 1 currently 3-0 in favour of IDK in the Scale 1 game. Five to nothing in the Scale 1 game. IDK flipping away at those brutally there against the Barnsley life markers, just chipping their way around that sort of clock face of life points. So concentrated fire going in from the IDK players, and not just splitting them across single players. That focus firing onto a single person and chopping their way straight down to those life markers to add that point to the board. Barnsley players counterpoint to that. Have got their points spread across. Got the shot spread across the IDK team, and therefore only able to get clips and mark points. So some clips on there on the IDK players, but no full life markers taken out. 11 points to nothing. And this is IDK's final match of the tournament, I believe. Yep. So Team No versus Barnsley. Still to come on court 1. And we have our final match on court 2 getting prepped up now, which is T-Wolves versus Wolfpack. So these two teams have both performed phenomenally well. Both taking heavy losses against the boss, both winning out against Fighting Mongooses in very similar styles. So, and T-Wolves and Wolfpack are training partners and have been sort of sister teams for multiple years now. So both very aware of each other's tactics and abilities, and going to be phenomenal. I think that's going to be a phenomenal sequence of games to finish off on court 2. As well, actually, both No and Barnsley, I would say from what we've seen so far, are very much on a level pegging. So that Team No versus Barnsley Griffins will be the final matchup on court 1 as well. So I think we've got two incredible matches to finish off this sequence. But for now, IDK versus Barnsley, court 1. Game 3, the 2v2 freestyle. Barnsley go for an interesting centre point tactic there to split. Not letting their opponents know exactly who they're going to be up against from the get-go. 2 points on the board there for IDK though. Take down both sides. Now there is definitely, well obviously you've got to stay mobile. There is a massive advantage to pairing up, which is what you can see that the IDK players doing. They're alternating shots here and there, but in the main, they're focused firing. So both firing on the same opponent, and they're bouncing one player to the other to the other. Because once someone's out, they're out for 3 seconds. At which point you can then both focus fire the opposing player and so on. And once you get that bounce going, so you're only ever fighting 2 versus 1, it is so hard for the other team to get back into the game. And Barnsley again targeting individual players rather than trying to focus fire together. And with the evasion skills of IDK, not using that 2-on-1 tactic is putting you at such a massive disadvantage. Seconds away, 17-0 here. Barnsley players just being torn apart. Again, it's very much. I mean, yeah, the movement and evasion work of the IDK players make themselves nightmarish to land a hit on, but just not. But unfortunately, if you can see the way the shots are travelling, Barnsley players very much splitting their shots in between the IDK players, so targeting a player each, whereas the IDK players were focus firing 2-on-1 all the time. So, court 2, here we go. T-Wolves on red, Wolfpack on blue. Going from the way these two teams have played, this is probably the closest matchup pairing in the League 2 pool. That's in the pool 2 setup. 60 seconds played, 1 point apiece. Definite expectation for pretty much every game here to go down to the wire. Second point in for T-Wolves. Can Wolfpack pull this back? Third point for T-Wolves. Wolfpack need to get another score. Still a 2-point difference though. Got rid of that shield nicely on the front edge. A lot of fire going in. 3 points. 5-3 now. Still that 2-point lead. This is what Mongoose has managed to do to Wolfpack in the earlier round. They got that 2-point lead early on. And Wolfpack just couldn't quite close it down. Great evasion on the front line there. So unfortunately it's dodging, but there's no firepower coming out. 4-point lead here. 3, 2, great shots. 6, 7, 6. Can they do it? Can they get another point in here? 5 seconds remaining. 3, 2. Oh, double strike going in there from T-Wolves. 9 points to 6. Great work there from T-Wolves and Wolfpack. Court 1 now starting off again. IDK versus Barnsley, round 4. This is the shield, counter-defense and counter-defensive play game. Two points to nothing here in favour of IDK. 3-0. 4-0. Barnsley have really got to work on their team fire patterns here. So at the moment, shields are limiting some of the scoring chances there for IDK. So that's all they're doing, just slowing it down. Barnsley really not able to, not working very well on their teamwork. I think that's definitely something they need to look at for the future. Hitting it harder, so focus firing on a shield as a team, focus firing on a single player as a team. Get rid of those shields fast, cut down those dodging options. So Barnsley playing individually very well, but just that team cohesion, that sort of synergy between the teams not coming through well. Three, two, one. That's 13-0 to IDK. In fact, it's almost a red player 2 individual victory there with 11 points scored. Incredible work there from IDK, absolutely tearing through the Griffins. You said that Barnsley Griffins, they're playing well. The point score here is not, I suppose, truly representative of where they're at, but they need to be that team cohesion just isn't quite there. That focused fire. That working together to take down shields rapidly, and that focused team fire to take down a player on the opposing team and to get those points on the board. Still, they're player marking and playing effectively 3 sets of 1v1 games, whereas their opponents here with IDK very much operating as a team. Okay, here we go. This is the scale 1 game. T-Wolves versus Wolfpack. The Wolfpack have gone for shields again. Worked for them in the against the Mongoose games. Let's see what they can get out of it this time around. 0-0 at the moment. 20 seconds played. Shields gone up. First points on side for both teams. 1 point apiece. A lot of good communication going on between the players, trying to focus fire onto players on the opposing team. That's 2-1 now, 3-1 now to T-Wolves. Wolfpack with a lot of work to do here. 30 seconds remaining. They've still got 2 heavy-duty shields left. They need to get those up if they're going to get any benefit from them. 20 seconds on the clock. Still 4-1 to T-Wolves here. 5-1. That shield tactic just not paying off for Wolfpack in this round. T-Wolves got far too much their team cohesion there for punching those shields down was just too efficient. So back to court 1. We're currently on the 1v1 IDK Barnsley. Clips onto both players. No points scored yet. Great work from the Barnsley player. First point on the board there for IDK. Second point in for IDK. 30 seconds on the clock. Can Barnsley get a score? (2-1). Yes, they can. 20 seconds remaining. Now, can he do it again? That would be an upset. Great shield timing there from IDK. 3-1. 10 seconds on. 4-1. Beautiful one shot there from IDK. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Gone. Lovely play there. Some great shots going in from the Barnsley player. She said that, as you've seen in the previous games, they're playing 1v1s. The 1v1 play there was really good against IDK. But you can't play as 3 1v1s in a team game. That's the next step for them, I think, is getting that communication, that cohesion going, and they'll become a significantly bigger threat if they can get that up and running. So moving back to court 2, we're going into game 3. So this is our 2v2 freestyle. currently 2-0 in favour of T-Wolves. Wolfpack sticking with the shield format. Heavy shield up on that front edge. Can they take advantage of it? Try and get some points up the board off those shields. Currently 0-0. First shield down from Wolfpack. Second shield up now. Third shield up. Moving across, they need to get some points in here. First point in for Wolfpack. Can they get some more though? Wolfpack players definitely getting clipped down now. 1 point apiece at the halfway mark. Single shield left in for Wolfpack. Got to earn some more points off these shields before they go out. 2-1. T-Wolves are moving ahead. 3-1 there. Fortunately dodged into the shot there. 4-1. T-Wolves really got some momentum going here. 4-2, 20 seconds. That's the last Wolfpack shield up. Can they get some points here? Got to score. 4-3, 10 seconds. Can they get another score? 5-3. T-Wolves, I think they may have pushed it out of Wolfpack's reach there. 5 seconds. T-Wolves evasion groundwork really on point. 5-3. Fantastic fight from the two teams there. Really good play. Great evasion, great tactics there. Wolfpack still focusing on those shield tactics. And said they've worked for them some of the early games, but against T-Wolves, those shields just getting punched through too quickly. There you go. IDK and Barnsley. This is the HADO 20, so the limited points round. So they've got limited stats on the two teams. Let's see if Barnsley can in any way help to work to capitalise on that. So what we're really looking forward to seeing from Barnsley is some proper cohesion, focused fire onto single opponents. 2-0 currently to IDK, 3-0 to IDK. .40 seconds on the clock. 5-0 currently to IDK. Shield on the front line there, being allowed to stay for far too long. So Barnsley's movement's good, their accuracy's good, but against a team like IDK, they need to be operating much more as a single unit. To IDK. 10 seconds remaining. Barnsley currently frontline player for Barnsley, great on the movement, but far side, way too static and upright. And IDK taking huge advantage of that. Back to court 2. T-Wolves Wolfpack, currently 3 games to T-Wolves. It's the defence and counter-defence play. It's been where Wolfpack have been trying to take the matches so far. So it should be their strong point. Let's see if they can use that to get them to take a game from T-Wolves. 1 point to nothing currently in Wolfpack's favour. 20 seconds remaining. Centre shield's been up for too long. Really need to hammer their way through here. So T-Wolves have gone double shield, which is what they did previously. 2 points to nothing currently for Wolfpack. Wolfpack can stay mobile, keep punching their way through those shields. T-Wolves pulling it back though. 3-2. T-Wolves have flipped the scoreline. Pretty much all, I think it's all the heavy duty shields gone from Wolfpack. T-Wolves still with a number of heavy duty shields in the bank though. Wolfpack have got to punch their way through those shields much faster. 20 seconds on the clock. 2 points in it. 3 points in it now. Those shields are just staying live for way too long. T-Wolves should have, Wolfpack should have torn those shields down by now. 3, 2, 1. 7 points to 5. That is game 4 and the bonus point to T-Wolves. Wolfpack yet to take a game in this sequence. Court 1, we're just prepping up now for the final game in the IDK Barnsley match. So this is the back to the 3v3 freestyle. Barnsley again moving well on the front edge, too static on the back line. Need to vary body height a lot more on the back edge there. IDK really taking advantage of that, the static body height. And court 2 now getting ready for their 1v1 freestyle. 20 seconds left on the clock here on court 1. Barnsley with a point on the board. 13-14 on 10 seconds left now. So Barnsley movement's great, but they've just got to work on that team cohesion and that team tactics. Here we go. 1v1 freestyle. Can Wolfpack get their first game? First point into Wolfpack, 1-0. Can T-Wolves pull this back in? Great play from both players here. Good side to side, great shift in height. Still 1-0. Very, very close game. 30 seconds on the clock here. This rate, if Wolfpack can get a second score, they're going to they'll put this out of range. T-Wolves, if they can get that point and can take it to an overtime, it could be anyone's. Okay, it's the second team. They've done it. 1 point apiece. 10 seconds. Wolfpack's got to get aggressive. 5 seconds. But they mustn't get aggressive at the risk of being hit. Great slide there from T-Wolves. 10 seconds on the clock here, going to overtime. Two, one. Here we go. 1 life marker versus 2. Good shield there, buying a little bit of time, build up some charge, and he takes it 2-1. Oh, that was close. That was so close. Currently 5 games to nil in the sequence. 2 remaining games to go. So we have our limited point score game, game 6, and then the 3v3 freestyle finisher, and game 7. Can Wolfpack pull a couple of matches back? Great play there. T-Wolves just said these two teams are really closely matched, but T-Wolves just getting the edge each time and just holding themselves just that little bit out of reach of Wolfpack. Prepping up as well on court 1 now for the final match there, which is Team No versus Barnsley Griffins. Just to answer Dan's question on the comments there, obviously there was a replay. I don't know. I think we've got a couple. Don't know exactly which one you were relating to. Obviously the referees on court deemed the reason wasn't
calls directed by player action. But obviously we're going to do a full review on all the matches and setups afterwards. So we'll be able to have a look at exactly what caused that when we get to that point. So here we go. Court 2, this is game 6. This is our limited resources game. Opening point there straight on the board from T-Wolves. Wolfpack still looking for their first game win in this sequence. 2-0 now. Two-1. Can Wolfpack get their first win here, or are T-Wolves going to take this 6-0? 4-2. Great work from both teams here. T-Wolves just holding Wolfpack off though. Five, 3. Still 2 points in it. 30 seconds to play. 6-3 now. 6-4. 6-5. Can Wolfpack do it again? Can they get another point in? 20 seconds on the clock here. Wolfpack player on the front line. Got to get off the floor. He's going to get clipped. 7-5. 10 seconds remaining. 8-5. 9-5. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 10 points to 6. That is 6 games out of 6 so far for T-Wolves. One lane to go, left to go in the sequence, which is our 3v3, the standard 3v3 stick freestyle. And on court 1, we're getting prepped up, and this is the final game and match on court 2. And court 1, we're just getting prepped up for our final match there, which is Team No on red versus Barnsley Griffins on blue for our final sequence of 7. Team No and Barnsley Griffins are ready to go in their opening game here. So it's the 3v3 freestyle on court 1. Straight firepower builds both sides. 1 point apiece. So for the performance so far, these two teams seem to be fair on pretty well on par with each other, so these are going to be some really interesting sequence of games. 4-3. Great work from both sides here. Barnsley just holding on to that lead. Can Team No pull it back? Still holding on to the 2-point lead, coming up on the halfway mark. Single point in now. No have pulled it back level. Can they flip the scoreline? 30 seconds. Barnsley edging ahead again. Final game on court 2 has just begun. The 3v3 freestyle between T-Wolves and Wolfpack. Single point lead still here though on court 1 for Griffins. 9 points apiece. Great flurry of shots both sides there. Nice groundwork, nice accuracy. 10 seconds remaining, 10 points apiece. This is going absolutely down to the wire. 11-10 here. Can Griffins get another point in? Or is that going to be enough from Team No? 3, 2, 1. Team No take game 1. 6 points to 1 here at the moment. T-Wolves versus Wolfpack. Wolfpack frontline player there needs to shift off the ground, or he's too predictable in that front position. 10 points to 2 currently. T-Wolves really punishing Wolfpack players here. 11 points to 5. $14-5. And that front Wolfpack player has lost tracking entirely through too much movement of his headset, which I don't think it altered the outcome of the game really in any way.
But that is a technical foul, so we'll wait and see what the referee calls on that one. I think he'll let the result stand. Technical foul gives an automatic loss to the team that incurred the penalty, with a 3-0 win to the other team. However, obviously here, T-Wolves got a 16 points to 7 win, which is a better result than the 3-0 they'd get from the penalty. So therefore, I believe the referee will effectively play advantage and allow the current scoreline to stand. Okay, putting ourselves back over to Court 1 now. So Court 2 match is completed. And this is our final match here on Court 1. This is the Scale 1 game between Team No and Barnsley Griffins. That first game, Team 2 being won by Team No by a single point. 2 points apiece here, coming up on the halfway mark. Team No just a single point lead here. 2 point lead now. 3 point lead. 20 seconds remaining. Barnsley just need to work on that communication still. That lack of focused fire onto single targets, the lack of communication, that's currently they're definitely their weak point here. The accuracy in their movement's good, but the team cohesion is letting them down. 6 points to 4. Game 2 goes to Team No. So with Pool 2 now completed, that is 23 match points to the Boss, 14 to T-Wolves, 6 to Fighting Mongooses, and 5 to Wolfpack. So Boss in first place, T-Wolves in second, my Fighting Mongooses in third, and Wolfpack in fourth place in Pool 2. We've got a bit of time to do the maths. We'll have a look at what that does to all different team rankings once we apply the header ranking points and see where that shifts teams up and down through the plays. Currently on Court 1, IDK have 24 match points. Synergy have 14. Team No current up to this current matchup have no match points, and Barnsley have 2. However, obviously in the current matchup, No have taken the first 2 games. So they're currently tied with Barnsley on number of total match points, but winning this the current matchup 2 points to 0. With 5 games left to play, so moving into the 2v2 freestyle here on Court 1 for Team No versus Barnsley Griffins. So pretty much expect firepower builds on both sides. Much better movement and evasion there on the Barnsley side. Better use of height. Really nice ducking under those shots. First point though going to Team No. 20 seconds played. Barnsley out to about 1 point apiece. Barnsley take the first game of the sequence from Team No. Well, Team No going to keep on and going to hold on for another win. 3-1 now. (3-2) at the halfway mark. Very, very close play here. 4-2, 30 seconds remaining. 4-3. Barnsley fighting back absolute tooth and nail here. Really, really good play from them. Actually starting to focus fire onto a single player now as well. 5-all, 15 seconds remaining. 6-5, Barnsley flip the scoreline. Can they hold on for the final 10 seconds? No, pulling it back, 6 points apiece. 5 seconds. 7-6. Just got to hold out. 2-1, 7-all, going to overtime. So far Barnsley player, single life marker. He's going to be the core target. 14-0 here. They've only got to clip him once. And they've got him. 8-7. Really, really good play there, though. Definite, clear step up from Barnsley in terms of that communication and working to try and focus down a single player at a time. But well deserved overtime in there for Team No. Very, very nice gameplay. So that was our 2v2 freestyle. So moving on now to game 4 here on court 1, where we have, which is the Shields game. So we're looking here at our team's defensive and counter-defensive play. How well can they get their shields up? How well can they angle and position them? How rapidly can they take the opposing shields down? Can they effectively counter-shield by dropping shields in front of their opponent's shields to neutralise them? So let's see what the team's here. This one is very, very much focused on team communication. You need to focus fire on your opponent's shields to tear them down rapidly, and you can't. And you've got to obviously use your own shields effectively to try and make sure that you get points on the board off the back of them. Right, looks like the team's just getting their gear finalised. Here we go. Game on. So this is game 4 in the sequence. Currently 3-0 in favour of Team No. Team No in the red. Barnsley is on both of the early shields up. Both cases say the shields lasting too long. Needs real fast focused fire from the players, high charge rates, just tear the way through those opposing team shields. 1-0 currently to Team No. 30 seconds remaining. 30 seconds played, sorry, 50 seconds remaining. Both teams just very, very similar builds, just one heavy shielder. Very low point scoring at this stage. So 2 points now to Team No. 2-1. Barnsley back in the fight. He needs another point here to pull it level. Team No, though, trying to keep it out of their range. 3-1 now. That is the final heavy shield gone up from Team No. Barnsley focusing too much trying to shoot around the shield and not enough on just getting rid of them. So 3-2 now. 1 point in it. 10 seconds. Can Barnsley get another score? 5 seconds. Good shield placement from No. They're really slowing down the counter-attack. And a great score there from No. 4-2. Putting the game out of reach for Barnsley Griffins. So that is 4 games and therefore the bonus point for Team No. 3 more games to go in this sequence. So we have coming up next, we will have our 1v1 freestyle, the 3v3 limited stats game, and the final 3v3 freestyle. Pull it back onto court there. Nice play both sides. We said really, really good in the shift and movement. But unfortunately, those shields just being allowed to stay in play for too long. So when we get those shields up, we really want to see them being, torn apart by the other teams. We don't really want to see those shields up for any period of time. You know it's a defense game and a shield game. If you need your charge, not just your charge rate player, but your whole team. Your charge rate players doing the bulk of the work, but they need the teammates to be dropping those shots in there as well to just tear the way through those shields. So those rank 5 shields the players putting up, they take 8 shots to smash your way through. Yeah, you can be calling and counting the shots as they go in, but you've got to get rid of those shots. You've got to get rid of those shields as fast as you can. And it's just that little bit of team coordination that still seems to be missing from Barnsley Griffins, and that's what's costing them these games. Movement wise, accuracy wise, they're very, very much on a par with their opponents. Their opponents have just got that little bit better team cohesion, a little bit better communication going on, and that's why they're edging out in each of these games. But very, very close gameplay. Obviously with those overtime games and things coming through as well. So here we go, 1v1. This was definitely a strong point for the Barnsley players in the previous rounds. So they're generally playing almost as a 1v1 anyway, so this is where we should see the strength from them. So I'd say it's probably the most likely point we get for a Barnsley win in this sequence. Great rate of fire coming from us. I love these little head flicks there and dodges. Neither player yet to score. This is likely to be that one of those matchups again where whoever gets that first point is going to take the whole thing. First point going to no. This is dangerous for Barnsley. So this was probably their best chance of a win. They need to get back in this. Got to get that high marker point off the team no player. May have to risk it all and come up onto the centre line to cut down the distance and therefore the dodging time. Second point in for Team No. That was a beautiful shot. Barnsley player misread it entirely and stepped into the blast. Great timing on the shield there from Team No, and that is game over. 3, 2, 1, 4-0. That was looking close. Barnsley definitely had a shot on that, and he just misread that shot entirely. Turned, literally stepped straight into it. Hand that point to Team No, and then that shield dropping up from Team No. Perfect timing on it. Meant there was no chance of Barnsley getting back into that game properly. Locked them out of it entirely. Really, really good gameplay from Team No there. So 2 games remaining. Take us to the end of round 1 of the National League here in the UK. Hope you've been enjoying the matches. There's plenty of you been with us all the way through, so thank you very much for staying with us, guys. Now then, we've got this year the UK tournaments are split into effectively 4 seasons. This is the spring season, so we've had a whole range of national and regional matches leading up to round 1 of the league. If you want to check out the video on the main channel, there's a complete review of all 6 matches, highlights, key points from them, and where that led to for the table coming into today's tournament. There are, I believe it's 24 or 25 teams currently playing in the UK tournament scene. So there's a lot going on. We've had Northern, Midlands, and Southern regionals. We've had local matches in Coventry and Brighton as well as then National Grand Slam that opened everything off, and today's National League round 1 tournament. Going forward into the summer, for those wanting to get involved with HADO in the UK, there are locations in Brighton, Coventry, Barnsley, Newcastle, and for those who are in the RAF, contact your RAF Esports rep if you want to get hold of the RAF's HADO court to get a team together and properly be out here and battling it out in the national rankings. So here we go. So this is round 6. This is the limited points round. Both teams going for a reasonable spread. The points, Barnsley more focusing heavily on blue 6 as their hope. No, spreading the points out a little bit more evenly across the squad. One point apiece. seconds played. Blue 6, so that's where the Barnsley have invested their points. That's where their gamble's been placed. Cross shuffling across the pitch, engaging multiple targets across the route there. 30 seconds remaining, 2 points apiece. Can Barnsley do it? Can they get their first game win in this sequence? 3-2. 15 seconds. Just got to hold out now. They've all got a shield. Well, most of them got shields. Popping up that shield now would be a really good idea. 5 seconds, 3 points apiece. Are we going to overtime again? Blue 6 really going for it to try and stop that overtime. Not managing it. Okay, 3 points apiece. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Barnsley get it. Clean shot straight off the mark there. 4 points to 3. Barnsley get their first game win in this sequence. So one more game to go. And that will be the end of the round 1 of the National League. So across the summer, there are local and regional tournaments happening across the UK. So Southern, Midlands and Northern regionals. We're hopefully going to be potentially bringing in some new regions as well across that time period, which would be amazing. If you don't happen to be anywhere near where the so either Brighton, Maidenhead area for Southern region, Midlands region is RAF and the Coventry arenas, and Coventry arena is where these tournaments are coming from today. Northern region is Barnsley and Newcastle. If you don't happen to be near any of those regions, but you know a place that would be amazing to set a HADO caught up in, obviously get in touch. We'll see what we can do to get a facility up and running with you, so you can start training a team and get involved. The way the way the system works, basically, the more matches and tournaments you play in, the more ranking points your team earns, the more you shift up the national rank points. And there's no reason why a team coming into the tournaments now wouldn't be able to come up into a high rank position if they're willing to put the time and effort into both to train and to travel. We also have basically a whole the tournament structure goes through to the end of the year in November, where we'll be having the UK Championships, and that's the top 16 teams will be playing off in the UK Championships. So definitely achievable to be in there. But let's get back on the games. So game 7, 3v3 freestyle, our final game of the tournament. Nice open play from both sides. Much better movement starting to come from Barnsley players now. Having a little bit of a baptism of fire for them, but they've been learning fast from their opponents. 2-1 currently for Barnsley. 30 seconds played. Can they get a second win here? 3-3. No, pulled at that level and flipped the scoreline. Coming up on the halfway mark. Barnsley fighting back again. Unable to flip the scoreline. No, edging out by a point. 2 points now. 30 seconds. 1 point in it still. Can Barnsley pull that back and flip the scoreline? Pulled it level, can they flip it? 7-6, no pushing it away from them again. 8-6. Great fight here from Barnsley. But no, just constantly just shifting that, shifting it out of their reach every time they close the gap. Great play from both sides. Well-deserved win to Team No. Fantastic gameplay from Barnsley throughout. So that finishes off Pool 1 with IDK earning 24 match points, Synergy earning 14 match points, Team No earning 7, and Barnsley earning 1. So each of those match points translates through to 6 ranking points in the national leagues. So we've got a whole lot of maths to do now, because it's going to jump all the, obviously, the league positions around significantly for those top 8 teams. And we'll see basically where they all end up once we finish doing all that maths. Obviously, thank you very much for being with us. Hope you've enjoyed it. There's been some incredible gameplay there, some fantastic matchups as we've gone. Going on from here, there's going to be a whole sequence of matches through the summer. Every Saturday afternoon, 4 till 7 here at HADO Arena Coventry. We've got a whole sequence of just for fun matches. So for people who want to get into competition or want to come and give it a try, find their first steps in it, there's a great place to come and try out. And we also have regular training for players wanting to get into the sport for both junior and adult players. So on Saturdays, we've got our mixer tournaments. Pick a name out of a bag, play with a new team, meet people. It's a really good way to sort of get into the social side of HADO and learn how things work. We have our Generations tournaments coming up, because HADO is a sport that doesn't have age or gender restrictions to it. So therefore, you can play as a family group, which is the idea. You can play as a family, so a team across generations. We then have our Masters tournaments, which is for players aged 35 and up only. So people like me who can get out there and go play. And we're also then having a first Saturday of the month will be a mix of HADO duels and buddy tournaments, so 1v1s and 2v2s. So if you fancy coming down, just have a play with those, see what it's like, see what it's all about. Please come and join us. Obviously tune in to the future tournaments as we go ahead through the summer season, and we hope to see you on broadcasts in the future. Thank you very much for being with us, guys. If you haven't done already, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you soon.